Oh, hello. Happy Friday.
It's Friday. It is Friday.
Happy Friday.
Friday, we're here, garage sale, Q&A. We're giving you a big preview on all the stuff we've got. We're focusing on a bunch of stuff you haven't seen at our garage sales before. We've got a whole plan. Yeah, here we are. We got boxes and boxes of stuff to show off here.
Right here. Yeah, just a friendly reminder for those who does not really know about garage sale. What's the garage sale?
What is a garage sale? Okay, so we go to Japan, and when we're there, we buy all kinds of stuff. Often the stuff we're buying is not the items that we stock on a regular basis throughout the year. So we come back and we have this great big bonanza of a sale to basically unload them and pay for our trips to Japan.
Yes.
And so there is unique, rare, and one-of-a-kind items, because when we go shopping, we find these guys who've made these really cool things. They're maybe testing new lines out, so we have prototype kind of things. And also we find stuff that is discontinued or whatever. So it's kind of this weird mix of like really special, really exciting, amazing stuff, and then some super sweet deals.
And we're going to start off that garage sale on Monday the next week, the November 7th at 8 a.m. Mountain Time. And all the stores, we have stores in Calgary, Edmonton, Vancouver, and Ottawa. All stores are going to open at 10 a.m. local time. And we're going to run until the 13th.
That's right. So we have a full thing. We got another Monday. We're going to run through a whole video. We're here all day live in our warehouse on Monday. You can buy knives. You know, frankly, if you don't know anything about our garage sale, if you find a knife that you think, oh, Monday morning, I'm going to roll up and pick up that knife, and then I'll shop around and get a few other things, like I need a sharpening stone, I need a blade guard and a honing rod. What you need to do is realize that we've got very limited stock on some of these stuff, especially the really special items. So get that knife, pop it in your cart, go through the checkout, buy that knife, right? If it's something you really want, just buy it right away. Come back, make another order of all the other stuff you need. Blade guards, honing rods, Christmas presents for your aunt in Florida, whatever you're getting. Then make a second purchase. We can combine the shipments for you, and then you'll only get one order shipped to you. But that's the real thing, because stuff goes fast. Yeah. If you are in your cart and you're going to check out and it's not letting you use that item, or buy that item, it's because someone else has bought it. Yeah. So
there are a lot of one-of-a-kind items. Also, like lots of great deals, like refurbished knives and everything.
Yeah,
they go really, really fast. Although we do also have the sale section this year. It's called Tsunehisa Sale.
Yeah, we got a sale at the sale.
Yeah, there's actually a section in our website says discounted. So all the items will be discounted are on a section there. So you'll be able to purchase them at.
Well, that's one of the things with our garage sales. We just buy the knives and we just put a great price on them. We don't then go back and mark them down. That seems dumb, except we do have these great Tsunehisa knives, and we've kind of had them for a bit. They've been on sort of a regular stock, so we're actually just going to give them, what percent off is it?
20% off.
20% off, so that's a great deal.
Yeah.
And Tsunehisa knives are really, really well made, really nice. Great for gifts. They always look really cool. Yeah. Something I like about Tsunehisa knives is they just have a really awesome, authentic Japanese look, but they're not real delicate. They're really great gifts. Yeah.
Also, we are doing this new thing. Some knives are so rare.
Yeah.
That the wait list was like this crazy.
Ridiculous.
Like, it was almost like 10-year wait.
Yeah, you would have to like pass your spot on the wait list down in your will.
Yeah.
So your
I think the wait list was over 50 years.
Yeah, some of the knives, like for a tank, it was a 50-year wait list for that knife.
So we decided to do more, like, I think it's a bit more fair. So we're doing the raffle. We have 3 tanks, which will show you actually exact knife in the back. 3 tanks and 1 actually super rare mini tank, the smaller size tank, and also the very rare knife Shigefusa 300mm Kitaeji, which is the hand-folded Damascus Yanagiba, are all for the raffle.
Really?
See in link in description if you're interested, and leave your email and name down so that on the first day of the garage sale, we will draw a name, draw names, and if you win, you'll have 24 hours to complete your purchase. Otherwise, it goes down to the next person.
Yeah.
It's that simple. Anyways, let's open some boxes because
yeah. What do we got here?
Boxes are moving and yeah.
Hey!
Garage sale.
Hello.
He's 20% off. This is Asunahisa Kevin.
You guys didn't know sitting in a box here.
Yeah, we were gonna just unbox some of the knives next, and it just started moving. So.
That is the kind of quality, high humor you can expect from this
Adventure.
crew.
This adventure.
This
Yeah,
crew.
Yes.
we put our boss in a box.
Boss in a box.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm Kevin. I'm the founder of Knifewear.
And
This
I'm
is-
Naoto.
Naoto.
And
And then Mike. Yeah. We always do these YouTube videos on we do YouTube videos on our YouTube channel, like in case you were wondering where else they would ever be. You'll probably see lots more of Naoto and I if you ever check out our YouTube videos. Naoto's got tons of great sharpening stuff. Naoto knows just a ridiculous amount about kitchen knives, steel, sharpening. So he's got a great series of videos that are all about that. I tend to do more stuff that's based on cooking. Check out our channel too. What else are we doing? We want to look at some knives.
yes.
Let's look at some knives.
Well, I think we should start with Manakas. I will tell you something that I'm very excited about Manakas. I don't know if it's a Hanasuki, a Nakiri, or a 240 Gyuto that I want, but I kind of want all of them. I'll tell you the honest truth.
So this segment will unbox some of the knives.
Yeah.
From Manaka-san.
I can make myself useful. Look at
So
that.
we're going to focus on Manaka knives right now. Please pop any questions you have about Manaka knives in our little chat here, and we will get to those questions. We've got a guy named Nathan sitting behind the computer here, who is kind of moderating everything for us today. If you have other questions, you can certainly put them in there. When we have free time, we will get into those questions too. Okay, who is Manaka? What's special about Manaka? I like that Manaka does all the cladding of his own steel. He does Warakomi, correct?
Yeah, the Manaka-san is this young-ish blacksmith from the Saitama. He's actually, I found out he's actually the same age as me. So
Oh, so
What?
kind of young.
Yeah, kind of young, right?
Whoa,
This
So-
is the one that's the no mic right here,
And this too.
and this too.
So he is regularly young blacksmith, but likes to do lots of things
There we go.
in-house, including forge welding in-house. A lot of blacksmiths now purchase a pre-laminated steel. Don't put the head right
That's not gonna
there,
work.
because it's-
Yeah.
But every night he makes, he forge welds them.
Mike, why don't you
in-house.
switch places with Kevin there and you can show us those knives?
Well, why doesn't Mike show you those knives? I'll get out of here, but
So
I don't know if you can see that.
little tips there. Yeah. So
Oh my goodness.
this particular one here, if you look closely, I don't know if you ever be able to see that. This one here, it has got very beautiful Damascus finish on the bevel. This is his line code N. He forge welds two different type of steel for the cladding. Oh, look. Oh yeah, here you go. Look at that. And he puts the Aogami #1 core for the cutting edge. He's such skilled blacksmith and also loves to challenge a lot of stuff, right? This is the other knives that we have right here are all white carbon steel knives. He also does forge weld in stainless steel forge welding,
Mm-hmm.
which, as far as I know, stainless steel, no one else does that.
So he's incredibly talented. He's very good at his job. He makes really cool knives. They're quite unique. We've got some really special ones here from him with the Damascus. Hard to kind of see it from our little video we've got going on here, but they're great photos online. It's those are the Manaka ENN knives. Those we've got a couple of Gyutos, three Gyutos here that are just stunning, like a work of art.
Yeah.
Something I like about white carbon steel, you might agree. I love sharpening white carbon steel. I feel like when I've sharpened one of my knives with that type of material, that it's probably the sharpest thing in 1,000 kilometers from me. It's just so nice and so great to get an edge on it.
Yeah. So it gets such really nice crisp edge
Mhm.
as well, and it's relatively easy to sharpen. Did you notice all the his Gyutos ones that we got as the Kurosaki tip?
Yeah. That's really nice.
That's it. this like drop point, flip point. I don't know what the term is, but
Here, show us in the sexy camera.
60 cam.
The just so you folks know, the webcam on the guys is kind of our just throw your hand under there, Naoto. Give it something to focus on, and then bring it down a little bit. So we got we saved our nice camera for the knife shots, just so you guys can see. Just put your hand up flat, Naoto. There you go. Yeah, and just give it a second to focus there.
Tell us about how he grinds and sharpens his knives. What kind of...
Oh, there. So, like how he forges, like he, forges both two steels there, and he forges into kind of weird shape. He kind of forges actually into the shape that is like the highest or the thickest part of his knife is right here in the bevel. Right?
You can feel it.
Yeah, you can actually see them too. The from the top, I'm sure like it's hard to see them on the camera here, but it's almost like a diamond shape, right? So by doing so, the benefit here's actually a benefit of making the knife like this way, especially like say an akiri here. So by making the bevel spot like the thickest and a little bit lower on this part here, it will create a little bit of a space. So when you're cutting some like cucumbers and stuff like that, it will less chance of sticking. Also having this texture, like beautiful, like that Tsuchime finish, right?
It's so nice.
Yeah.
It gets rid of that wedgie axe feeling, which is different than that high school hallway wedgie feeling, right? No one's got me on that one. All right, guys. All right. I'll work on it.
I'll give you a laugh, Mike.
Okay, thank you. So, can I get a laugh track, Nathan? But Manaka knives are very cool. They're very unique.
I guess you can't hear that.
And we're just pumped about them. I like some of the technical skills that you can't see in them, and I also like just the dimensions of them. To me, they're always like the overall dimensions of them are just a little bit taller, a little bit bigger. So, if I'm looking at this petty, I see a small chef's knife here, right? I see a knife that I could use for chopping and I could use for doing all kinds of work, not just that tiny, slender little petty, right? Yeah, that's a beauty. And you can see the texture on the blade face here. That's so nice, too.
If anybody wants to know anything about these Manaka knives, now is the time to pop your questions in the comments. We're kind of going maker by maker today, and so we'll address questions about specific knives as they come up. I know, Naoto, here's one for you. Kuhn was asking, does Manaka still make the ATS knives, the ATS 34?
Yes.
Or is he sticking to carbon steel for now?
No, he still is making the ATS 34 knives. They take a little bit longer. They come as he makes it. It's just one person game. I'm actually going to see him in about a week.
Amazing. I'm so excited for you to go and do that.
A week.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
I can't wait to hear what it's like in a shop. I hope you get some good photos and maybe a couple quick videos too. Yeah.
So we'll see what's up, and we'll have a good chat.
He's back.
Guys, I have to say, you know how I feel about Manaka knives. I've got one of his 210 ATS 34. You just at home. Wicked. But I also...
Where's your new knife?
I don't know where my new knife is. I have a new knife, but Naoto has put it somewhere for me. He's put a beautiful handle on it. And this is the knife I bought the brother to this one recently. And this is... like I cannot be more excited about my new knife.
Oh,
In fact, I gotta find it. I gotta keep it hidden because you guys will sell it during rush sale.
I'm trying really hard to get the camera to show that Damascus.
Yeah, we can see it.
You can see that flow through the steel there. It's so nice. Yeah, I like it. I like things that are kind of understated, that you kind of have to look a little closer to actually see it.
Can we see that handle? It's pretty. It's a pretty nice custom handle on there.
There's the handle.
There's the handle.
Yeah, I like this handle too. I'll agree with you. I like that handle. I also like this. This one here has got this sort of bluish gray kind of thing with the nice lines through it. It's got a nice little shimmer to the wood as well. So beautiful. See if I can do the flyby.
So is there any more Manaka questions? Manaka-san questions?
That's all we got for questions about Manaka-san. So if we want to move on to our next maker
I
there,
don't even have to hold them up, Mike.
who do we have next, Mike?
Next, we are talking about some great knives from Tosa.
Oh, and real quick, Naoto, is the cladding on those Manaka knives high carbon steel?
Yes. They are.
Cool. Awesome.
Well, not high carbon. Like it's a carbon steel.
Yeah,
But
not
low
stainless
carbon
steel.
Not stainless.
Yeah,
Not
high carbon means super hard.
Yes. Low carbon steel. It's a carbon steel that has. So.
Sometimes I hear them the blacksmiths call it mild iron.
Yeah. They call it goku nantetsu in the Japanese.
Yeah, Goku Nantatsu.
They don't call it that to me.
Oh yeah. Gokunan means like super soft.
Okay.
steel.
Oh, I'll be using that word for some people.
Yeah.
The Gokunan birthday party. All right, we're opening some knives. Oh, hey, that's cool.
All right, we'll
That's
switch
cool.
around cameras there for
We're
you.
talking like we're gonna focus on this. This is more like a regional, I guess, knives, right? The this region called the Tosa Uchi or the Tosa Hamono is the mostly knives from this region in Kochi. Kochi is the southernmost prefecture of a Shikoku island. Has anyone been to Kochi?
I have not been to Kochi.
I have, Naoto.
Yes, you have. What's Kochi's famous for?
What's lots of things.
Lots of things.
And one of them is
One of the things.
the
Spicy food.
no what's the word I'm thinking of?
Chickens in the backyard.
Katsuo. It's
Yes,
the katsuo that you burn with the hay.
Yes.
Tataki.
Yes.
Tataki.
Tuna. It's like that's a tuna, right? And you cut them and you sear them and slice them really thin.
Yeah.
This is actually really good because this particular knife here, forged by Mune Ishi-san in the Tosa region. This
it's very
super
cool
weird
looking.
shape here. This is called Katsuo Kiribocho. Katsuo Bonito
like
tuna. Katsuo Kiribocho. This is with no stainless cladding. This is actually really good price. Like $255 on this guy. It's like
Okay, so are they using the shape?
Sorry,
of that-
guys. Can I get you to hold on for 10 seconds here? We're just going to try resetting this mic that wasn't working. Okay, thank you very much. Back at it.
so. Here is again Katsuo Bocho, the Katsuo Bonito tuna knife.
So we're using this to slice the tuna before we make it into tataki?
Usually it's bigger.
Yeah.
The shape itself is the Katsuo
I see.
tuna knife.
I see. Yeah.
But usually it's bigger and it's more like Maguro Bocho, the tuna filleting knife.
Right.
But
So he's kind of modified the shape to
Yeah,
be a more functional one for
and this
folks
is
like
really,
us.
yeah, this is really just a slicer, but it's just
Yeah, dude, that's such a cool slicer. That tip like that, that's awesome.
yeah. So let's think.
So it looks like these Tosa knives we got here are Algami number 2.
Mostly, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a great steel, carbon steel. Not going to. We got little Damascus folds here on our.
And if anybody has questions about this Hatsukokro Kumokage series or the Tosa whale knives or the Mune Ishi
Yeah, Muneishi.
or Mune Ishi, now's the time to pop them in the comments and we'll get to those right
Nice
away.
octagonal handle too. I always like that. Gives you kind of a grip feeling. The handle, there's not one better than the other. It's particularly just how you feel. Even the D-shaped handle, and I speak from experience of helping customers in the store, even that D-shaped handle, which is largely designed to be a right-handed handle, I've definitely had left-handed people pick it up and enjoy it because they like where their thumb kind of fits on the ridge there.
So something
Like this. I'll show you the D-shaped handle. You can see the ridge along it here.
So Tosa has like
maybe.
a little bit like many different blacksmiths, right? These are mostly Muneishi-san. Also, we have this younger blacksmith in the region, Kyohei Shindo. That's these guys.
Ooh.
Here. He is the very So I guess the unique thing about Tosa Uchihamono traditionally is this black finish, right? The kuroji, very rustic look, but it's like very functional, right? So this Shindo-san, he's a very unique character. He was born and raised in Hokkaido, the northernmost island of the Japan, right? Like
I can't point at stuff.
You're getting out to the point at stuff. Or just put the knife in your hand.
on your hand. Here you go.
And then point with the other. There you go.
Here you go. So he was born and raised in the Hokkaido, and then he goes to the university in Okinawa. You know where Okinawa is?
I do, yeah.
Yeah, like it's the opposite side of Japan, right?
Absolutely,
From
yeah.
Hokkaido. Then he thought after graduating university, he wanted to become something like, a person, a craft person who makes things, because he always liked to make things. And he decided to become blacksmith. So after he traveled all around Japan, trying to find the blacksmithing that he had imagined as a knife maker and blacksmithing, he found the Tosa is the great place. So he, after travel from Hokkaido to Okinawa and settled down to in the Tosa, he was actually wholesaling. He was actually working as a wholesaler before.
Oh, really? Well, I think they feel really nice. They're really nice and light. Definitely in comparison to those Kumokages. Yeah, $136 for a Gyuto, Nakiri, and a Bunka. Super good prices. Aogami number 2. So not stainless at all. But I think one of the great things about the garage sales, we often get a stack of these Tosa knives that are really, really excellent knives. They're not polished. They're not, they're warts and all, right? All the deep hammer strikes on the face of the blade. I don't know. Like Naoto said, they've got a really rustic style. That is their style, but they cut great. And if you're trying to see if a carbon steel knife is the thing for you, that is a great place to start. $136. Yeah, it's great.
And for those of you who's looking at this knife, it is actually listed as Funayuki, traditional Funayuki is traditional fisherman's knife shape.
Right.
It looks like a Gyuto, but
yeah, it's sort of Gyuto, but it's also got a bit of a deba kind of curve to the
exactly.
spine.
Yeah,
So Funayuki, Funayuki.
Trevor Pinicky says, I prefer a slightly unrefined look, and that they look awesome. And I agree. That was the first thing that got me excited about Japanese knives, was like that more rustic kind of look that those have.
They're fantastic.
They're such a steal for that price too.
Yeah.
Can we talk about those whale knives for a sec?
Absolutely. We were kind of playing with the whale knives earlier.
GB was asking about them. Oh, we got a pod of whales, right?
Yes. To make them
What could go wrong?
Killer whale knife.
here. Okay, so those whale knives, very well made, and like real small, whatchamacallit, the utility knives. You have a few, right, Mike?
Yeah, I think they're fun.
Yeah, because like this shape, I think it's fantastic for a steak knife.
Yep, steak
Right.
knives. I know some crafter people that really like them for leather and even some fabric stuff.
And they're now $45 from $67.
Oh wow, that's great. That's
Yeah.
a good little
It's a-
deal,
it's a-
little garage sale deal action.
Mike H was asking, I don't think about these, maybe about those knives we were talking about before, but would these be comparable to Zakuri knives?
So here, Zakuri knives. We actually do have one Zakuri knife. I can't remember.
I think we're saving that one for later, aren't we?
Yeah, well, we have a right here.
Oh, nice. Never mind.
Zakuri knife is this collaboration work of the Tosa knives. So they don't really tell you who the blacksmith is for this particular knife there. But so it's comparable. Like Shindo Kyohei knives, maybe one of these Zakuri knives was forged by Shindo-san, right?
Oh.
But Zakuri knives are great. It's the because of the collab work and does not mention any of the specific blacksmith. Again, look at the price. 240 Gyuto was $201. It's all carbon steel, but it's like really well made, super light.
So what? Yeah, I like that they got little sort of the rainbow oil slick look on them there.
Yeah.
Really nice.
So it's really comparable, definitely. Yes.
On Monday, we're going to do some fun things through our video. For example, we always find ourselves back here talking about how we use knives. Like we talk about how you do how you use a Hanasuki, and it feels like we're doing the air guitar version of deboning a chicken. So we got a little cutting board set up. We're actually going to do some demonstrations so we can show you instead of just tell you. We're gonna even take a carbon steel knife, and we're gonna show you what it's like to use a carbon steel knife. We always talk about the rust. We talk about wiping the rust off if it happens. We talk about forming patina. So because we're gonna be around for several hours, we're gonna do it. We're gonna cut with a carbon steel knife at the beginning. We'll talk about what you're required to do to maintain it, and then we're gonna let it sit and rust. And then we're gonna show you just how easy it is to manage.
Well, Don Penny says,
oh, hey, Don.
I bought a Zakuri Petty at the first pandemic garage sale, and it's fantastic.
Yep.
Don knows a thing or two about knives.
Yep.
Trevor Pinicky is just asking, how's the weight on those knives? Are they on the heavier or lighter side?
Alrighty, we have this tool.
Tool time.
Tool time.
So let's go Nakiri.
Say the Hatsukokro Kumokage Nakiri is 188 grams. And from the feel, I think Shindo-san's a little bit lighter.
I'm gonna say it's like 160.
Yeah.
Ooh, 154.
154. So the Kyohei-san, Shindo-san's knives are much lighter, and it's actually thinner too, right? Like you can feel them. And this Muneishi's, the Aogami one, is the 157 as well. One of the things about the Kumokage is I don't mind this little bit of weighty. That's to it. It's really nice. It's got a really beautiful Damascus look to it too, right? So they're all around 150 to 160. Does definitely have a bit more weight on this Nakiri.
Yeah. And I seem to think that some makers do have a heavier Nakiri sometimes.
Well, I mean, and there's more steel on the front of the knife too,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
So it just feels more like
And
forward
it
balance.
really depends, right? Like to be quite honest with you, the this Kumokage Nakiri and this Muneishi-san's Nakiri, this is actually made by Muneishi-san.
Oh, cool.
Oh yeah, it's the same black, but the one is like much lighter and thinner than the other, right?
And one's got some Damascus on it. So.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, well,
Those are some super deals. Okay, are we gonna get to the Yoshimunes now?
yeah.
Do we have
What's our next
questions?
maker?
Let's get us some
We
questions.
just had a bunch of questions.
Okay, great. I'm excited for the Yoshimune. I think they're really hot. Yeah, let's take a look.
If anybody's just tuning in, this is a unboxing live stream for our garage sale, which is happening next week, November 7th to the 13th. On Monday, we're going to have a marathon kickoff live stream, help you guys shop if anybody needs advice, help finding knives. We're going to have a bunch of demonstrations. So Naoto's going to teach us about some Japanese cooking. Mike's going to teach us how to debone a chicken with a Hanasuki. Kevin's going to teach us how to buy Christmas gifts. All sorts of fun stuff. So tune in Monday and just hang out with us. We're going to be live from like 8 till 4 and tell us what kind of cool stuff you found in the sale. Okay, Yoshimune. These are the ones I'm most excited for this time around.
This is forged by a guy named Kawamura-san in the Sanjo. And Yoshimune is his kind of blacksmith's name in front of him, right? I think it's got the engraving. Actually, very subtle. But he does really interesting tsuchime or the hammer pattern. With the this Kuroji is very stunning, actually.
It is.
Because I've seen his non Kuroji version of the same knife, but this Kuroji version, it gets really, really, really nice and dark. It is a stainless clad knife.
Yeah.
So in order to make the stainless steel that black, it's kind of hard. It's actually a little bit hard.
Yeah.
So making that is really, really, really great. Little bit more rustic, right? The bevels are a little bit more like.
There is a really great texture on the outside of that blade.
Yeah. It's got really nice thick spine and tapers them really nice. Little bit thicker behind the edge than some of the blacksmith, but that means it's got really nice.
I like that.
Durability for sure.
I like that. I'm pretty heavy-handed, and I like those knives because they feel strong that way for me. I also would like to point out how even the grinding is. The bevel has a nice sort of, would you call that hamaguri?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the way it's been sharpened is that it comes down pretty smoothly, and it starts to taper about here, where it really starts to fall down towards the edge. But it gives you that sort of bullet-shaped grind on the blade, which I like because despite being a little bit thicker, it pushes the food off the side of the blade. It breaks down that resistance as the knife travels through the food. So I like this style because for me, I don't want to have to worry too much about the knife I'm using and how hard I'm cutting. I just want to just do the work. And I find that a knife with this kind of grind on it is really user friendly for a meat hand like me.
The price.
And it's $157.
Yeah.
Do we have a 240 Gyuto?
No.
I'm shopping for 240 Gyutos right now, everybody.
210 is only 205.
Real quick before we move on, does anybody have questions about these Yoshimune knives? They're pretty awesome. They're like just gorgeous knives for like $200 Canadian.
It's Canadian. Those of you watching from the States or elsewhere, we're from Canada.
Yeah, so that $205 is what, about 87 cents for you guys right now?
It's $1.87.
It's $1.87. Yeah, right.
Naoto, do you know the Rockwell rating on those?
They are generally, it's like 63, 2 to 3. It's just regular white carbon number 2.
Right.
And a quarter.
What's up, Pavel? I saw you say hi there. Hold on.
And then Timmy Treetop was asking, are those kind of more forward balanced or are they substantial in weight? I noticed they were kind of beefy feeling.
Yeah, they are beefy feeling.
Yeah.
I would say they've got a nice balance point right in the hand, right where you want it balanced, right? Okay. Like I can hold the balance probably. Right about there. Okay, so let's put on scale.
197.
197. So just under 200 grams for your 210 mil Gyuto.
Like, let's do that Santoku because we were
Sure, yeah, that's a
weighing
good
the Santoku.
good comparison.
Yeah, say Santoku. We had the
200.
the other ones like 155, 160.
Yeah, it's gonna be just under 200. Oh, 150. Yeah, we go.
Well, 151.
Maybe it's just because those handles are really light.
Yeah, that's possible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, what's up next?
I'm here. Look what I've got. I've got a bunch of. You put this camera on, you'll see we've got a bunch of custom handles. And so these are one of a kind. I think they're on the website as like you have to as custom handle. Okay, there we go.
Oh, custom handle time.
So we've got a Kurosaki here, a bunka. It's a 180 bunka, although he calls it a 180 Gyuto apparently. We've got the Matsuteni VG1 right here with the Nishiji finish and the Damascus. Oh, okay. These Nigaras here, these I get. I like these. I've got one of these. You have one of these now, Joe?
Yes, I've used the Nigara for yes.
It's crazy. So I've got a 210 that I seem to take with me on holidays because you know when you go to Airbnb now when they try to convince you that 2 serrated steak knives and a flexi bread knife is a kitchen set.
Yep.
I hate that. So I brought my Nigara last time and it was awesome. A bit overkill. I also brought my own cutting board and a peeler and a honing rod.
That's a reasonable travel set. If anybody has questions about these while we're unboxing them, we are going to show each one off, but
Okay.
pop in the comments right now.
Here's the one.
The one.
That one.
Fujiwara Denka in a well, wait a minute. What am I saying? Now, sorry, I'm not talking properly because Nathan's giving me all kinds of hand.
There we go.
I don't know what he wants me to do, but I think he wants me to do this.
Yeah.
Denka with
And
the pink handle.
it's a Denko with a pink handle, and this one got a lot of attention because it was behind us at our last time we did a live event, and everybody's like, "What's that Denko with a pink handle?" So here you go. It can be yours for 936 small Canadian dollars. I'm a fan. This is the knife I really want.
Okay.
This is the knife that will go in seconds.
I was going to say, now's a great time to maybe give folks a reminder, or if it's your first knife or garage sale, if you really want one of these knives that's truly one of a kind, what's the best way to get it?
Yeah. So what happens if you're an expert at the old garage sale, like I saw Don Penny on there earlier? He knows what's going on. What's going to happen is these kind of one of a kind knives, those Manaka Damascus knives we looked at earlier, things that are really hard to get, and there's a very limited quantity. What happens is they get snapped up immediately, and it doesn't matter. It's not the first person to put it in their cart on the website. It's the first person that actually pays the money. that gets the knife, right? It could be in 30 carts or 40 carts. So if you want one of these custom knives with the custom handles, if you want one of those 3, because we only have 3 of those Manaka Damascus knives. If you want one of those knives, one of these, the best thing to do is get in there as soon as the gate opens, like right at, what is it now? 8 a.m. Mountain Time. Go in there online, press the button, and go and pay for it as fast as you can. Then come back and get the second and third, or like whatever else you're looking for.
Just friendly reminder, we are going back to the regular time. We're still on the daylight saving.
Oh, that's right. We're on day. Oh,
Yeah.
we got extra
Yeah, there's
hours
a time
Saturday
change.
nights.
Hey,
There's a time change Sunday,
Okay.
right?
it's time change Sunday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure.
Well, it's Saturday
you know,
night.
yeah.
Oh, perfect.
It's
Okay,
Or
good.
Sunday
Yeah,
morning.
yeah.
Depends how you look at it.
Yeah.
Just to set the timer good.
Yeah.
You know,
One point.
Sunday will do.
different countries may.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
One point
you
I'd
need
like
know
to
that.
make just to help people out, if you are looking to snag a knife right away, because I know people have run into this as a problem before. If you have autofill, say you use Google Chrome and you have autofill, make sure it's correct. Make sure it has the right address and the right credit card info, and maybe just go and double check it on the weekend, because I've run into that as a problem before. So just make sure it's 100% right, because that'll really speed up that checking out process and increase your chance of getting that knife you really want. Oh, here, let's look at that guy on the top down.
Look at this. So I don't know the last time we have a hard time getting these days, Masakagi Shimo. At least we did for
We did. Yeah,
we did during the pandemic for a while there. But we seem to be getting them again. And this is a Shimo, so all white carbon steel with that beautiful Damascus pattern, that kind of X Damascus pattern. And I love this gray handle. It's just like,
Can you just bring that kind of in here a little? Yeah, there we go.
there. Is that better for you?
Yeah,
Nathan?
the more centered it is in the frame, the easier it is for the camera to focus.
All right.
Thanks, man.
There is
Oh,
that. There is
There.
that gray handle and that beautiful Damascus pattern on the Shimo. And Shimo means frost, right? Which is perfect for today.
Right, yeah.
Because I rode my bike here today, and it took me about double time as normal because I walked through a lot of snow.
I love this one. I love the handle.
The handle's wild. It looks like the galaxy. It looks like the Milky Way.
Yeah, on this handle. Special handle with white #1 with the carbon steel on the outside. Once that we have got the regular lines or carbon steel with the stainless cladding, this one here, it's super thin at the tip. Look how much core is exposed, right? It is a little bit thinner than the regular line of handle. So
Yeah, that's crazy
a little
thin.
bit shorter.
So not great for squash stems and stuff,
Yeah.
eh?
No, but not great for squash.
That handle's wild now, Toe.
How thin
Do
the
we get
edge
more of
is.
those handles?
Yeah.
Because that handle and that thin edge,
Yeah.
that works for me. Oh my goodness.
So it's this one.
Can I hold that one?
Yeah. Oh, I should.
Oh man.
So it's this.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Now, Toe, please tell me, give me a reason why I don't want this knife.
It's too thin for you.
It's not too thin for
It's
me.
too thin for you.
It's not too thin for me. I really like thin knives. The great thing about a thin knife is that it just smashes. Sorry, it just glides through food way easier. Think about razor blades. Think about razor blades versus an axe. Right, an axe is very thick blade, and it's very rugged.
Came in the frame.
Hmm?
It came in the frame.
That's fine.
Okay.
We'll figure that out.
Sure.
Okay, well, I don't know. We're having technical issues here.
No, we're just making some adjustments.
We're
so you
making
guys
some
don't have to reach
adjustments.
as far forward when you show it the knives.
Oh, okay, great. Getting all the bugs out for the Monday show, I suppose.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, custom handles. You got questions about custom handles or any of these knives here? Let me know. David Alexander, I want that Denka. Guess what? About 80 people want that Denka. If you want that Denka, show up as soon as the gates open on the sale and just throw it in your cart and pay for it as fast as you can. Use the custom fill option. Nathan was talking about.
Now, Naoto, we had a couple questions here. One of them is probably for you. Sharp and Sassy was asking, will there be any awesome knives with custom handles available in store on Monday, or are they just online?
Those handles are only available here. Some of the fancier, like we call it bowling pin handle.
Yeah, they look like a bowling ball.
Yeah, bowling ball. Yeah, not pin. Sorry, bowling ball. Some of them are actually available in the stores too.
Right. So there'll be some custom Western handles available in stores, and these custom Japanese style handles only
just
here online right now. We don't have that many of them.
No.
Oh, hold on, Kevin. Hold on.
Yeah, I'm holding on.
We got a few questions about those.
Okay.
Now, Trevor Pinnicky, you were asking if something's a 250. Let me know which one you were asking about. Barbacoa Brothers is asking about Mutsumi Hinora. We'll have those in a little bit. Can you show us off that Kurosaki bunka, though, that you had out? Can we see that guy one more time?
The Kurosaki bunka. You got it, man. Look at that. I kind of slid that one away quickly because, to be honest, I just want that knife too.
Now, Don Penny had some great advice. If you're really excited about these custom knives, he advises you wait several minutes so you can really consider the best choice on Monday.
Oh, good thinking, Don Penny. That means Don Penny's after something that everybody
That
wants.
means he just wants it for
Don
himself.
Penny is just, I know his game. I know Don Penny's game. Do you know Don Penny once bit a shark? He was surfing, the shark came to attack him, and Don Penny bit the shark. I know, it's wild. It's wild. Poor shark. He's got a Don Penny bite in him forever. Any more custom handle questions?
Let me double check, but I believe that is it. The person that was asking about those, King, just says, "Sir, thanks." Wow. You're welcome. It would be good to mention, we were talking about in-store stock, and it might just be helpful for people who live in Calgary, Edmonton, Ottawa, or Vancouver, where we have retail stores, just to mention about how that works.
Yes. So
I'll let Naoto do
alrighty.
that.
So we have stores, as Nathan mentioned. We have Calgary, Edmonton, Vancouver, and the Ottawa stores. For those stores, we open the door at 10, and all the inventories at the stores are actually secure from selling online for first day. So for those people who go to actually visit the stores, there are actually some knives that are like one of a kind, or the very rare knives that goes into stores. You get to see them. Like I don't know which actually knife went to which stores. So
Don't ask us.
it was random choice. Like we didn't like do this. Like we're like this.
So what you're saying, Naoto, is that we've got a bunch of custom stuff online that you can buy at the website.
Yeah.
But we've also got in each store knives. And those aren't being shown on the website. So they won't be sold from under your feet if you're looking at the store. So if you have that one in your hand, you can buy it. At the end of Monday, those custom knives, if there's any left in the stores, will hit the website.
Yeah.
So Tuesday morning website, there'll be updates for a few knives. And that's also probably important to talk about as well, that we haven't received, again, as always, we haven't received all of our knives for the garage sale. So on Thursday, we'll be doing another live broadcast just to show all the new knives that came in between Monday and Thursday. Hopefully we've got them photographed and priced and ready for the website by then. Hopefully.
Yes,
hopefully. Is there anything else we need to talk about, Nathan?
Well, I tell you what, we got a quick word from our sponsors, and we will be right back.
Good.
We're that big a deal now. We have sponsors, folks. So yeah, I hope you enjoy. Well, yeah, haven't watched the commercials. Here you go.
Are you or a loved one suffering from dull kitchen knives?
My bruschetta used to be made with squished tomatoes and bruised basil.
I couldn't get through a soup without my knife going dull.
It's so humiliating to show up and people ask you, "Oh, why do you have a Band-Aid on your hand?" I cut myself with a super dull knife.
Life was hard, and I couldn't figure out why my knife was going dull so quickly. I'm ashamed to say it, but I even put it in the dishwasher.
But then I discovered honing my knife, and everything changed.
But now, it's delicious, fresh, brightly flavored. Do you know why? I found honing.
But then, I learned how to hone my knife.
I can do more for my knife and in the kitchen.
My knife can still do a good job.
And I'll only have to do it once a week.
And I only have to do it once a week.
No more squished tomatoes!
Honing your knife is not sharpening your knife. Side effects may include grating knife noises, impressing your friends, and startling sharpness. Remember, a ceramic honing rod is not a steel. If you're hearing unhappy knife noises, stop what you're doing and contact your local knife expert. Ask your local knife store about sharpening if honing is not enough for your knife.
To help keep my knife sharp, I invest in a honing rod so I can invest in my food.
I was just gonna look at my phone to see if anybody was. Anyway, got caught. Did that end suddenly? Like in the middle?
No.
Was that the end?
Yeah. It was
That's
the end.
well. There you go. There you have.
Oh, you have to
and
do
you-
it once a week?
Just one. All you only have to do it once a week. You can hone your knife, and then you can get, as Mike said, fresh, bright tasting salsa.
Oh, you look
We
familiar.
missed the to do the super high speed like side effects. This honing rod may cause all sorts of certain things, like you might get dead, dull, or diarrhea.
Dead, dull, or diarrhea.
So,
That's so cool.
what do we have? What do we have here?
You know
Ta-da!
how I feel about Moretakasan's knives, right? The Moretaka family, they've been sword and knife makers. Well, they were the town blacksmith, right? Like they would have been making everything since the year 1293. Ridiculous. So 730 years.
Yeah.
They've been blacksmiths. So as a family, I think they might have learned something by now. And we usually get the Algami 1 or the blue steel 2 knives. But these are a few that we've got with their Algami Super steel. And of special interest to me is that guy.
Yeah.
Moretakasan, last time we were there, I was asking him how. Well, actually, he asked me. He says, "Why do you guys sell so many Hanasukis?" And I said, "Oh, it's a great knife, because." And then anyway, he was saying that he didn't know what the knife was for, or it wasn't a knife that was from his area. And I said, "But you've been making us Hanasukis forever. In fact, I think you make the best one." And what he said was, because basically, I used to order from a spreadsheet with them, and there was no Hanasuki on the spreadsheet on the order. So one day I wrote down 12 Hanasuki and sent it off and thought maybe they'll make one. And they did, and they sent the 12 Hanasuki, and they're fantastic. Nice thick spine. They got the way the tip is made. It doesn't chip like some Hanasukis do easy. It's ground in a way to make it rugged but super sharp. Like, I think possibly the best Hanasuki we carry is made by Moretakasan. And then he was asking me, "Why do you sell so many?" I said, "Because they're great knives." And he goes, "But is it a European shape?" I said, No, it's a Japanese shape." He goes, "Yeah, we didn't know about it." He goes, "When you ordered it the first time, I went on Amazon and searched for Hanasuki knives on Amazon, and then I looked at the picture, and then I made that." And then he asked me, "Would you change anything?" I was like, "Nothing. It's perfect. Like, it's perfect." So this is the Ishime pattern, texture on the outside with the Algami Super blade. I don't know how many we got of those. I hope we got more than 2 or 3, because those will go fast.
Yeah.
Because I know last time we got those, we got like 3 or 4 in the sale, and they were gone immediately.
So I actually got
So
a
this
comment
is-
up from John May, who I think the year that we got them by accident was one of the people that snagged one of them. And he says he's a missionary for them now. I think he's actually going to buy one for somebody else.
Well, he
if I
better
remember correctly.
jump, because there's not a ton of them.
How many did we get around this time?
I'll double check.
We don't know. Some.
Some
Some,
between
not-
0
but
and
not many. Well, I think we asked for 40 and got many fewer than that.
We also have regular version.
Yeah, the non-Ishime. So that's the flat, that flat, or not Damascus, what is it? That flat Kurochi finish they do. Do you know how they get it so smooth? Not that you know, Naoto. But not everybody gets this Kurochi finish so smooth on these blades as they do. And how they do that is when they're hammering, where Nathan's like directing.
There you go.
Is that where I put the knife, Nathan?
Yep.
I can't see on my monitor if it's connecting properly or focusing properly, but there it is. How they get this really smooth finish is when they're hammering it, as the hammer comes down, they've got a jet of water that just cools the surface when they're hammering, and it gives them a nice smooth
taking
finish.
the scale off.
It's taking the scale off.
Yeah.
There we go. So
Can we take a
any
look
question?
at that Chukabocho? We had a few people asking about that one.
I've been after a Chukabocho for years from these guys. I've had two in my possession, and both times someone has made me sell it to them. One of them is Miles Kwan up in Edmonton with the what's his restaurant called again? It's called
Dynasty, whatever.
No,
Dynasty?
their show was called Kwan Dynasty. But I can't remember the name of it now, but it's okay because I know where it is, so I just go there. But he was the last one. He basically said things like, "What do you know? You're not Chinese. You can't have a knife like that." I am. Give it to me. And well, he uses it.
So yeah, Kevin Berger or Berger, I don't know.
No, I'm Kevin.
Was asking about knives that are 60 millimeters or taller, and so a few people recommended this one. I believe both John May and Derek Brown suggested he take a look at this
60
one.
millimeter, and it is
This one's
86 millimeter tall.
Right on.
Yeah. I'm a fan of those. You guys know.
Yeah.
You guys know.
This is a little bit longer than our Mega Nakiri as well, and it's got a little bit thicker spine. It is certainly a bit tougher than the our Mega Nakiri counterpart.
Yeah. This is more of a really working knife. Oh, and they've got the Kiritsugi. They've got some Gyutos. They've got some petties. My God.
Now, Jiahao was asking about the Hanasuki. Is it double bevel or a 90-10?
Well, maybe let's talk about what this jargon means, a 90-10.
Totally.
Now, do you want to talk about that?
Sure. So these Moritaka Hanasukis or mostly all the Moritaka knives are 50-50. They are sharpened 50, like the same from both sides. Some knives, some Hanasuki, like a
some of the Fujiwara Hanasukis, but not all of them.
We don't have any of the single bevels.
Okay. We used to, yeah.
Some of the knife makers, they do make a one bevel much bigger than others, like almost like 80-20. Some do.
So what does that mean, Naoto?
So you have the single bevel Hanasukis from Sakai Takayuki, which we can actually show it to them.
Yeah, we can take a look at those later and stay tuned.
But let's talk about what that means, right? Because what it means when people talk about 50-50, they mean basically the bevel on each side is about the same. So if two bevels add up to 100, 50 and 50. But sometimes people talk about a bevel that they say is like 60-40 or 80-10, 80-20 or 90-10. It just means that on one side the bevel is longer than on the other. So it might just be like this. Just like that.
This one here
we go.
Is Hanasuki, which is actually single bevel. So it's not 90-10, it's actually sharp on one side. You see the bevel like Moritaka Hanasuki. The back though, it's flat. It even has a little bit of concavity right here. It's flat. It's very traditional single beveled Hanasuki. There's also ones that doesn't have that much of the concavity in the back. There is some knife makers that they make a back pretty flat, the other side more of rounded, like a convex. So that is more like 90-10 edge to it. Advantage, if you're gonna do the fish with this one, it's fantastic. I found the double beveled Hanasuki. I was using it, like I was actually filleting the fish at your place the other day.
Yeah.
And I found that the double bevel will try to cut into the bone a little bit easier, but this one you can actually put that like like this.
The single bevel knives are designed for fish, right? And it just floats over the bones when you cut it. That's right. Naoto and I, Naoto caught some fish at my place. You got a rockfish, and was it one or two? It was one, but it was delicious. So we had it steamed, and we also had it as sashimi, and it was good. It was really good. Naoto, I found some stuff at the back that aren't on the list of what we're supposed to talk about. So here, I know Nathan tells us what to do, and I just don't feel like behaving so much today. So here we go. So we've got a couple of Kurosaki knives here from with the special
Kurosaki
handle, right? So these are both Senkos. They're both with R2 powdered steel, and if we look at them here, crazy pattern on the Senkos. But look at the handle. Look at this. Like,
it's crazy.
We call them bowling bottoms. They look like a bowling ball,
but not in a bad way.
pin.
Like because they're cool. They're like psychedelic.
Oh, no, like
crazy.
this one looks like the Milky Way, I think. And look at this guy here. Right? Again, this great handle, great blade, and look at this great turquoise-looking handle.
I love that guy.
Great on camera.
That looks great on camera. It looks great in my hand.
Absolutely.
And I don't know if Chris Commandant's watching, but Chris Commandant, you'd like this a lot.
And it comes from
Like
comes
a
with
lot,
the,
Chris.
blinkers.
And look at that. You save $10 by
And
getting
it's got the,
a blade guard with it.
Kurosaki,
It's like a $10 discount.
Side on it. So that's a massive discount there. And let's talk about this too. So when you buy a knife from us, woo, you also get this little piece of paper in it that tells you a little story about the blacksmith, a little picture. So there's Kurosaki-san who made the knife. Story about him. If you go to the bottom here, it says 1 free knife sharpening. So every knife you buy from us, you can get a free sharpening the first time. And that includes repairs. So, because the first time I bought a Japanese knife, I thought it was amazing. I thought it was the best knife ever. I thought I could do everything. And then I chipped it on a bunch of chicken bones. And when I say I chipped it on a bunch of chicken bones, there must have been a bunch of bones because I put a bunch of chips in it. And then I learned to sharpen very well. Luckily, it was SRS 15 powder steel, so it was super easy to sharpen, Naoto.
Yeah,
it wasn't hard at all. Okay,
No,
I'm
right.
being silly. It was so hard. And then on the back, there's a whole tells you how to take care of it. And it's like, it basically, I call it do's and don'ts, but it's a bunch of don'ts. And basically it says, if you wouldn't bite it with your teeth, don't cut it with this knife.
Yep. Yep.
I've actually I'll go grab those right now.
Yeah.
I've got a couple right here in my hands.
I'm sure, he saw it, and So Kurosaki-san, relatively, really fantastic blacksmith who likes to try a lot of different new styles, different new hammer patterns, as well as new steel. And he has been actually trying out some of the steels have 40, like the MRK is mentioning. And he named that line Gecko. Gecko means it's not the frog. Gecko, Gekko, means the moonlight.
It means moon, right?
Moonlight.
That's these ones here.
Yeah, moonlight.
Yeah. Oh, moonlight.
Light.
Oh, I thought it meant moon.
No, moonlight.
Oh, well, there we go.
Yeah.
I guess that's why you speak Japanese and I don't.
So it looks like a moonlight. I don't know what that's.
I don't know what that means.
But it's.
Look at it. Look at the shape of that.
Yeah.
Look at the shape here. How it kind of comes up and in. Like this is.
He started making this shape for the other Senkos too, right? He calls it A. A means sharp.
Sharp. Well, there we go. Well, he used to make Western handle knives with a similar kind of shape.
Yeah.
And I think that was a nod to when he was learning to make handles with Saji.
Yeah.
So I think it was a real nod to like Saji's aesthetics.
We have actually full line of Gecko.
I didn't know this. I found them today hiding, Naoto. I found them hiding from me. You're obviously hiding them from me.
Yeah.
Because I need a new thin slicer. And
It's
have
fantastic.
40
It's really
thin
nice and thin. It's
that's ridiculous.
sharpens really, really well.
Do it now. I've made enough knives, Naoto, to know how hard it is to use a hammer and a spring hammer, and then grinding and polishing. I know how hard it is to get knives just like perfect laser straight.
As I said, full line.
I know
It's a
how to
full
do
line.
that, but I can't do it myself.
It's full line.
These blow my mind.
Yeah.
Kurosaki's he's just got big
It's like,
skill,
yeah, like
right?
this is
Is
crazy.
he grinding them himself, or because I know he's always
Yeah, he's grinding.
he's
himself.
got a new team.
He's got a new team, right? He's
Yeah,
got
he's
the Mukago-san and some of the younger guys.
Well,
right?
he's got a new team that I haven't met
right,
because they're like 2 or 3 years new.
Yeah.
And I haven't been out to Japan since
right.
2019 because there was a pandemic.
So
No,
even.
so did you hear about that? Yeah, it was a pandemic. It was a worldwide demic.
And it was hard for you to actually go to Japan.
Because I'm not Japanese. You got the buy because
Yeah.
they're like, hey, we can't stop Japanese people from coming here.
It's like any other countries, right? You let the
I don't know.
Do you have a sec to talk
I
about?
wouldn't have let you
What's
in
that?
now.
Do you have a sec to talk about going to Japan? Because I had a question that's kind of related to that.
Oh yeah.
That's a
Yeah,
good segue.
well-
So now you're actually going to Japan real soon, and
Yes.
Spoon Monkey was asking for maybe a bit of a look behind the curtain, asking if we deal directly with a lot of the blacksmiths that we get the knives for the garage sale from.
Yeah. We and our regular products too. Like we deal with Shibata-san, who's our really great negotiant for us. So we kind of send him after certain people or certain blacksmiths areas to find new stuff for us.
Yeah.
But we also just deal with a lot of blacksmiths
like
directly,
say
like so many.
Moretakasan, we deal
I've
with
been-
direct,
I've been dealing with-
direct.
Yeah, I've been dealing with Moretakasan and Takeda now for 15 years.
Yeah.
Right?
And Manaka-san, for example, first time we found him on internet.
Yeah,
Like,
that's right. We
oh
found
my
him on
God.
Instagram.
Yeah, Instagram, he's doing such great things. So I contacted him directly saying, hey, I'm coming to Japan and staying in this area. Do you have time to actually meet me there? So I'm actually going to see him in a week. I'm leaving on 12th, arriving on 17th, and see him on 15th.
Something like that.
Something like that. So we deal with a lot of small makers like the Miyazaki-san would be. Oh no, but a lot of people we deal.
Yeah, we deal we've got a couple of suppliers or
Yeah,
negotiants that we work with. Like I would call one negotiant, one a supplier, and then we've got just like a lot of just personal relationships we just buy direct from.
Yeah.
So and garage sales a lot of that too,
Yeah.
right? Especially when we meet someone new. That's what a lot of the garage sale is new knives from new people.
Yeah.
And yeah, so there you go, Spoon Monkey.
Then also
We do both.
Well, yeah, going through some of the suppliers, we still like to see them in person. It's
We still have a personal
we have to,
relationship,
we have to.
right?
Yeah.
Just sometimes they just want to sell to a supplier. They have a deal with a certain supplier.
Yeah, exactly.
So
All
anyway,
right.
we do what we need to do to bring the best knives in the
Yeah.
world here to our shops.
I would actually talk about these knives.
What we should do, we should probably say who we are and what we do.
Oh, hi.
Because I know somebody might have just tuned in.
Right.
Somebody may have just tuned in.
Let's go to
Well, I'm Kevin. Hi. This is Naoto. We work at enough mic in the back, and there's a voice you hear sometimes. You don't see a face. That guy's name is Nathan, and we all work at this places called Knifewear in Canada. We've got stores in Vancouver, Calgary, Edmonton, Ottawa. Toronto's coming right away, and we're in the warehouse right now, and we ship internationally to places all over the world every single day. And we bring, we try to curate and bring what we think are the best knives we can get. So the best knives in the world we get. And not just knives, but we've got a lot of cooking equipment and stuff like that. Like I'm an old chef, Mike's an old chef, Nathan you can't see. We're all burnt out chefs that have had long careers doing that. And now we're selling knives and trying to find basically the best equipment for your home kitchen or for your work kitchen.
Yeah. And this we're broadcasting for this upcoming so-called garage sale. Garage sale is all about knives that we don't usually carry. I'm looking at this selection of knives down there. These knives here, we usually deal with this knife maker called Hado. Maruyama-san is such a great blacksmith, but for example, this blade itself is forged by a blacksmith called Ebuchi-san, who he is actually not known in the area. He's fantastic blacksmith, but he primarily makes a lot of single bevel knives, but that's why it's got a really nice thick spine to it.
Well,
So,
but look at that bevel.
yeah.
Like you can tell that he makes single bevel knives.
No, it's a sharpening job, right?
Well, but yeah, but
Yeah.
you can. But what I'm saying is, because I'm sure the blacksmith has some input on the sharpening, or is Hato just buying blanks? Because I know, because I know that you've had some input on how they grind the knives.
So the Hato is has a Maruyama-san, right? He is a sharpener, and he learned, and he actually developed, and he brought it up, like he improved the way he sharpens the Sakai knife. Like I think he changed whole Sakai knife, like the way the Sakai knives were actually sharpened. So the bevel is much taller than the conventional Sakai knives.
Ridiculous. Well, and honestly, I don't remember seeing an awful lot of double bevel knives out of Sakai.
No.
Like Sakai is known for single bevel knives. So whenever I used to see double bevel knives out of Sakai, I knew they were basically stamped knives made in Seki. Generally, right? Generally.
So this,
but this is the real deal, and this is exciting.
Yeah, Ebuchi-san is actually really known in certain group of people.
While you guys are talking about
those people that are certain people are just total knife.
If anybody has questions about knives from Hato, they're a somewhat new maker, but they're really cool. Pop them in the comments so we can answer them while we're talking about these knives.
Somebody should ask lots of questions, and somebody should tell me. Like I don't usually get a lot of Santokus, but somebody should give me a reason not to buy this Santoku, because this is wild.
You see how thick
this is so wild. Okay, now so you measure that for us. Let's get the.
It's like 4.4 millimeter.
Oh my god!
Thick.
It's over 4 millimeter.
Yeah.
4.1.
Yeah, 4.1.
4.2 up there.
Yeah, 4.06.
No, 4.06. Yeah.
Yeah, 4 millimeter thick, and it's like tapers it down to 2 3/4.
Yeah.
And it gets a little bit thinner. I'm not gonna actually do it with the
No, I don't want to scratch the
sharpened
finish.
part. But it's like really nicely tapers all the way, and it's all done by.
He is like. Have you sharpened knives with him?
Maruyama?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I have. Yeah.
Okay, Naoto, you've got to take me out there to sharpen knives with him.
Yeah.
Because I haven't sharpened knives with him yet.
Yeah, he's good. He's good.
Not good.
But
No. Okay, Naoto is being very.
Let's see that guy up close, Naoto.
Naoto's being very British. Oh yes, he's good.
No, the one, the one you just had in your hand.
Yeah, which one?
The one, that one. Yeah.
Yeah. So he is so good, and he likes to try really hard. What happened on this particular knife? This length is 225 millimeters.
Of course it is.
What happened was the blade was 240. He made a tip really thin.
Oh, too thin.
And he actually made it to Kiritsuke after. But
well, there's not many of those in the world.
No.
There's one.
They're like, but yeah, but still super nice. This one here is so this one here is the forged by Tanaka-san. It's got a really thin spine.
I love how they've polished and smoothed the spine out too. Yeah. Like it's just such a nice it's a classy move, right?
Nice
it's just that touch that makes you go, man, it's a really nice knife.
Yeah. Although,
you know how I like I like nice knives and I like nice touches.
Although like these two though, like it is forged or the grind in, so there's no hard edges.
No, Sakai is serious for really well finished knives. Right? Like even a knife that looks rustic like this is finished beautifully.
We've got somebody asking how the balance is on that Santoku.
Like
we can show you exactly where the balance is.
Right there.
Right where you grab the knife. Yeah. Like it's perfect.
Perfectly balanced, as all things should be.
Yeah, this is really well. It's like
yes. How's the balance? Perfect.
There you go, Joycey. You heard it from the best.
No, it's just actually perfect.
Really perfect.
Yeah. Not bad. Yeah, not bad.
Yeah, not bad.
Not bad.
You want to talk about
here?
that?
Well, here we've got something totally different. I'll take those away. I just keep finding Nathan's made a script for us to follow, and I don't feel like it. Frankly, I think his script is so it's a guideline.
Yeah. So, for some reason, Kevin chose this one here. It's Tamahagane Micarta Sun. This is a carving set. I don't know if he knew about this, but it's a carving set with the micarta handle. It's gray steel VG5 stainless. It's really nice and thin. We are the reason why this is actually sitting here. Did you know this carving set?
I only found that today.
Oh, okay.
I dug that carving set out because I saw the box back there. So Naoto and I take turns buying stuff in garage sale, and we work pretty independently. And Naoto is the one that makes sure that we have lots of different things, and I'm the one that buys all the stuff I really like. So if it was just mine, sometimes I would buy for garage sales, and you would say things like, "How come you only bought Nikiris this time?" But it's because I was excited about Nikiris generally. So Naoto helps me round out, so we get really cool and a wide variety of things. What on earth? This is a crazy handle.
Yeah,
Hey,
it's a.
please tell me about this. I went away.
Oh, it's a linen micarta handle.
Yeah, but it's beautiful shape.
Yeah, we are getting the new handle with the pata wood from this line.
Oh.
So we're actually doing a little discount.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Oh, everybody needs the carving set coming up to Christmas.
Yeah.
You know what? You got the dad.
Yeah.
You got a dad. Get a carving set. Boom. You'll be the most popular kid ever.
Yeah, it's on the discounted section, so check this out. But because it's just really changed. We're retiring this whole line and bringing the new line in. So it's beautiful. It's like super smooth.
But I like the box it comes into. That just makes it special.
Yeah, really nice and thin.
Well, it's perfect for when you're doing roast turkey or
And they
ham
do
or
such
something.
a great job actually making the blade. You see, you see lines, right? Like go to vertical.
Yeah.
You see the vertical lines. You know how they put this vertical line? They actually go through the mirror polish this blade first.
I thought that was just grind lines left from thinning the blade.
No, they do go, for some reason, they do actually go through. They sharpen them, then you leave
They
the
make it
marks,
mirror.
and they go through. Yeah, they go through.
Because those marks don't look exactly like, because they're perfectly straight.
Yeah. So they do.
So that's oh my
A
god.
lot of work goes into even. They're
They're so thin and
knife
light. Like,
itself
it's
is
such a
punched
great-
out, but it's like great way. A lot of craftsmanship. Mike and I visited the workshop.
I was there years ago, Anyway, go on.
Yeah. So it's a lot of like modern machinery with the great skill, like craftsmanship, but
We should probably address that because sometimes we talk about knives as being either handmade
yeah.
or factory made. And I think we short sell in people's minds as the so-called factory made knife, right? The difference basically we're trying to say is that some knives start with a piece of steel and they've actually been hammer forged by a blacksmith.
Mm-hmm.
And then other knives have been punched or what do they call it? Stamped.
Oh, stamped,
right?
or, yeah, they cut it
So-
into the
so it's
shape
been
of the
cut-
sheet, right?
Yeah, think like sugar cookies. When you roll the sugar cookies
Yeah.
out and you cut them into your little
Yeah.
Christmas tree shapes.
Yeah.
So that's what these are. But then after that, they go through all the same processes of, heat treating and straightening and polishing and shining and sharpening and engraving and putting a handle on. Like they go through all the same
Even
processes.
sharpening, like some of the companies, they go through the same machine, right? The vertical wheel.
Yeah. They go through the same processes entirely. It's just there isn't the hammer forged process. So when we say factory knives, don't think about robots smashing. Like if you used to, the Henkel's website used to have a great video and they showed you how to make.
Somewhere. Yeah,
They've got to be. I haven't seen it for a long time, but it was a great video that showed you how they went basically from steel pellets to a knife, and there was never a human involved, except every month and now and again a human was involved moving boxes of things from here to there. These knives are very different than that.
Now, somebody was asking if Powell L was asking if that was Tamagane, Kyoto, or Tsubame.
Tamahagane, it's a sun.
Okay.
Yeah. The Kyoto has the Damascus finish on the outside. Tsubame is the whole entire finish by itself. That one's the line called Sun, S-A-N.
Except the box says Kyoto.
Oh, okay. Oh, it does say Kyoto.
Yeah.
Yeah, the different. No.
Awesome.
For some reason, they put that on the Kyoto.
Don't know that.
Okay. Well, Navarre Online is really excited to see the Suzuki Uchi knives that you have.
I got these because I love them. I love them. I love them. They're so. Oh, you got a sickle too. So he's a sickle maker.
I bought that sickle.
Oh, okay, Nathan.
For harvesting in my garden, yeah.
Okay, there's going to be a voice you're hearing. It's Nathan. Nathan, tell us about this sickle. Naoto's bringing the sickle out. Maybe you come over and just show it to us.
Yeah.
Until then, I'll show you these knives. Oops.
Whoop,
Change the
whoop.
view.
Yeah.
Show you these knives. So this is, I believe they call this one a Nikiri.
Yeah.
Like it's such a weird shape. So it's
like the Bizarro
sharpened a little bit
Nikiri
on the front. And if you look down this way, I don't know if I can get it to show properly. No, but there's this ridge right along here, like those eel knives. There's a ridge along this side. It's flat, totally thin knife, and then the bevel on the other side is drawn right up. I don't actually understand what's going on here, except that when I use it, food pops off it, and they're super fun. And for $245, you can get a really, really unique Nikiri, hand hammered in a very bizarre way with this beautiful oak handle. How do they get the black in this? Does anybody know how they get these black lines?
It's called spalting, and I can't remember exactly
Spalting.
what
Okay,
it's.
so it's a spalted.
It's sort of like a burl, like how it's like a problem with the wood, but it creates these beautiful patterns.
Yeah. Look at that. Like that's just wild. And the Santoku is the same. It's just got that really, really unique grind to it. And like the food just pops off of these guys. I love
It's
them.
basically the same as...
Here, and now Nathan's used this.
Yeah.
He uses this at home.
Yeah, I picked it up this summer because I have a big vegetable and herb garden, and I was really excited
So,
for like a
basically
traditional
how they
harvesting
make
tool.
is pretty much the same,
Mhm.
right, as the Nikiri. Or how he makes kitchen knives the same as the sickles, because he's primarily a sickle maker.
Yeah.
So if you see the spine on this one, it's got a little rip.
Oh, he's got the ridge in there. Look
Yeah.
at that. But it's on the back and on the front. It's on the front of the
Yeah. And he
Mitsuba.
calls it the ear of the.
Well, and that would give it structure, right?
Yeah,
Because he
it
makes
gives-
them really thin,
Mhm.
and without that, they would probably bend. The blade would probably bend very
Exactly.
easily. So they made it thicker. Oh, wow, that's actually got a wild shape to
Yeah,
it when you
exactly,
feel
right?
it.
Yep.
I wish I was a gardener.
Yeah.
I wish I was a gardener so I could buy gardening tools.
Yeah. This is fantastic.
What is the price on that sickle?
Just brought back, so Nathan is gonna give me a price. You know why the end is red?
So you don't lose it when you drop it?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes. they asked us like if you want to keep the red on the handle. Like, yes.
Yeah, it looks cool.
'Cause, yeah. Oh, you like the red handle too.
I love red handle knives, but I especially love pink handle knives.
Yeah. Like this.
So that
These are
sickle
facts.
is 135 Canadian.
Oh.
It's super duper sharp.
135?
Yeah, yeah,
Okay, buy two.
yeah. One for each hand, right? You can. But I used it for harvesting like different grasses in my front yard and sage. I've got like white sage. It grows in my front yard, and
Yeah.
chives really great for.
Wow.
Tough woody stems, not so much. It kind of yanks more.
Mhm.
But like finer stuff, like if you want to like pick fancy grasses to
And
put in a vase.
lettuces.
Great for lettuces, yeah.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Oh my god, that's cool. You've told me that he was a sickle maker. I've never seen one of his sickles before. This is wild.
Yeah.
Well, look how it's curved. You can't see it.
Ah.
It's really hard to see, but it's curved this way, so that the
Ah.
handle's up and the blade
There's the space
is
right
the
here.
blade here is in cutting position.
Yeah.
That's wild.
And it is actually carved a little bit too, like this way.
That's
A
curved
little
that
bit like
way
a
too,
hockey
yeah.
stick.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
hockey stick. Yeah.
I play hockey tomorrow
I know
night.
sports.
I'm playing hockey tomorrow night, but I don't think I'm going to use that as my.
No, it's for
stick.
kids hockey.
I don't think
If you're
that's a
left-handed.
very. If you get hooked with that stick, you'll know.
So Philip Ortman says spalting comes from fungus in the wood, and John also confirmed.
Oh.
Or
Okay.
sorry, Derek. Derek confirmed. Derek knows
Well,
about
thank
wood.
you. That's good to know.
Yeah.
Apparently, all I know these days about is hair conditioner. Look how long his hair's got. Like, what's going on?
We had a few
now,
people. I
Joe?
think Paul L called you Knife Nerd Jesus.
I'm the knife Jesus.
Oh, I just went to watch
no.
this Jesus Christ Superstar.
Oh, how
Did you
was
go
that?
last night?
Yeah, no, 2 minutes ago. But yeah,
How was it?
that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you get all religious?
It was hard. There was no. It's all singing.
Well,
And
it's a
some
musical.
of the lyrics are a little bit hard to understand.
Did they not have subtitles?
No.
Oh.
Yeah, it's like
If you go to the opera in Rome, they'll put the
It's the opera-
subtitles.
I mean,
But
like,
the great thing
it's-
about the opera in Rome, the subtitles are also in Italian, so that doesn't help.
Yeah.
This didn't help. This didn't help me.
Jesus driving a really fast car, right?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, supercar.
Oh god, this is my kind of. No.
Hi.
Do you guys want a cold beverage?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yes.
Could I get a cold beverage? I need some leverage.
There's a
cold beverages.
Okay, Antoine Suave was asking about the 3 tinker tanks, if we could show
that's
them.
why those knives are here, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay.
And also, this is a great opportunity to remind people that we got a few tinker tanks, and you can
There
have the
they
chance
are.
to buy one.
Those are Tank. That's Tank in all its glory.
It doesn't look like it, hey, because it's brought in the newspapers. Okay, like that.
Just so you're closer to the mic now, Tom.
Oh, yeah, right. Because microphone is actually right.
By the way, my apologies to anybody if the audio is a little spotty today. Our microphones that we normally use told us that they needed a firmware update right when we started our live stream. So despite all our testing today, we had some technical difficulties.
Yeah.
So we appreciate your patience.
So there.
Thank Rode Mike.
Thanks, Rode. If anybody wants to go to Rode's website, no, I'm kidding.
That's the same size, Mike.
Right?
Yeah.
They're the same. Tank and Tank.
So now
Ah, just kidding.
we have regular tank, 3 of them, and 1 mini tank. Blade length is about probably 130. No,
Give me the dinosaur.
130, 110. Yeah, 110 millimeters.
This feels amazing.
Yeah. Well, those of you who likes to do small chopping on gingers, garlic, like chives, or anything actually, this is really good, like tall, small, multi-functional knife. And what are we doing? We're doing a raffle because we only have 1 of that, and we have 3 of the tank. That's really hard to come by. It is forged by the Takumi Ikeda. He is the now a legit dental kogeshi.
Can you say that in English?
It's a certified traditional craftsman in English.
I'm glad that's not just hard for me to say, because I struggled to say Dento Kogeshi, but apparently it's hard to say in Japanese too.
Derek, this is not chibi. This is mini. There's another chibi I know that we didn't get, unfortunately. So there's a tank. There's mini. Chibi is in the middle. Chibi means kid or the...
No chibi.
No chibi, unfortunately. So this is a mini.
Yeah.
Chibi means the kid in Japanese.
So if you're interested in one of those, go into the description of this video,
Yep.
find the link for the raffle, and you can sign up there. So we'll be drawing, with these 5 knives in total, we'll be drawing all day Monday, kind of starting around 10. I think we'll do the first draw, and we'll announce the winner of each draw on the live stream, but we'll also email them an invoice. And so you'll have 24 hours to buy it if you want to buy it.
And so I'm correct in saying that if you were on the wait list, that wait list has been transferred over to the draw. And then
Yeah, if you were on the wait list for the tank.
you're included in the draw.
Yeah.
But there is no more wait list. So
Yeah, the wait list was somewhere between 50 and 100 years long. And so it was just getting to be ridiculous.
yeah, kind of pointless as far as a wait list is supposed to, the function it's meant to serve.
Yeah, here you go. So
That's the beautiful packaging.
yeah. The idea of him making the tinker knives is, like
To tinker around, play with new ideas,
yes.
try stuff out.
But the way that he forges the tinker knives are fantastic, though. It has really nice distal taper on the spine. Is really nice distal taper this way, and as well as it's got the distal taper forged in the vertical way as well.
Oh,
So it's forged in the vertical, like 3D dimensional forging.
okay. What are we doing now?
Okay,
We
Let's look at
have,
some other stuff.
yeah,
are we talking about Saji?
we have some Saji knives.
Is it still number 7? All right.
Saji is out of the Takafu region, right?
Yeah.
Takafu etches
Yeah,
in.
a lot of Saji.
We do. We have a ton. Nickel Kuro SG2. Oh, it's going to be nice. SG2 is a great steel. It's really good at staying sharp and not rusting. So for those of you that think that a patinaed, oxidized knife is really dirty looking or ugly and you just don't want that in your kitchen, then something that is made out of SG2 or powdered stainless. Wow. Okay, look at that. Look how tall that is. That's
Ooh.
a little piece. So it's almost like that Funayuki shape, hey? Nice and tall at the heel. Shiny Damascus. So there's a layer of nickel in the Damascus, which is how you get that real shimmer there. Nice octagonal rosewood handle. Rosewood? Jara. Rosewood. Nice. Saji's knives are really nice.
I think it's
nice
the
and thin.
maple.
I have a few
the
folks.
stabilized maple.
Yeah.
Just a quick note. I have a few folks saying they never got a confirmation email about the raffle. I'll follow up with our website manager. We did get a bunch of entries, so I suspect you're good to go. Check your promotions in your junk folder just in case. But I'll double check with our web manager and just see if she has anything to say about that. Thanks, folks. Okay, carry on as you were.
As you were. Okay, we've got some beauties here. Look at this. Look at those. How we doing? Oh, I really like these handles.
Right?
It's like wood and epoxy together, but how we doing? We got some focus. Yeah, look at that.
There's another one that's like the same shape of the blade, but look.
So these are pretty iridescent, sparkly handles. Is that getting it? That's getting it there. Yeah, you can see it there. That cool looking at. What a beautiful handle. It's narrower than it is tall, so it actually doesn't feel like a big fat handle, but nice weight. If you, I really like this handle.
Yeah, that one.
Look at that, hey? Look at that. Okay, so Saji knives are nice, and I think if you want to get someone a gift, someone who's been particularly good this year, a showpiece of a knife, I think you ought to take a look at these Sajis. Damascus, nickel Damascus, beautiful handles, R2, powder stainless steel, like, yep.
We have a Santoku, two different. So these are like.
You don't know what to get your dad for Christmas? Here you go.
When you go to the actual website and try to find this knife, it's Saji Western with the Saji R2 Black Damascus Western Santoku. And when you click it, you find there's a handle option. And there's a picture, so you can actually get to choose one. So something like this is option 1. Same knife with blue.
This is the kind of thing you want to load in your cart, and you want to press buy now and get through that, and then come back and find the stocking stuffers you're looking for.
So something like that is,
Zawa. Yaoi Azawi.
And
Those
also we have
are
this-
awesome.
It's a line of the, well, we call them Shinchu Damascus. Shinchu in Japanese, Shinchu means a brass. So it's a gold. So like we do actually have some rainbow Damascus.
We have rainbow Damascus?
But
We haven't had that for a while.
but
Okay,
we
let me
have
put
this
up here.
Shinchu gold Damascus first. Yeah, they look. And I love how like he sharpens. It's really nice and thin, but it's a little bit thicker, a bit more robust, right? Well, look at this one. This here.
Yeah, you're right. It's not laser beam thin, but that's gonna make it stronger. Also makes the pattern look really cool. It looks like the pattern looks like bubbles.
Right?
Right? Beautiful. Oof. Yeah, okay. But as I do my little pinch and slide on the blade here, what I'm feeling for is that bevel, and it gets nice and thin, almost like a bit of a concave grind, but not really. Holy, nice strong. Yeah, that not only will look very nice, that is also going to cut very nicely.
Penny.
Oh boy.
This is rainbow Damascus,
Can you see how shiny it is?
and the core steel is.
Try coming down a little bit now, so it's probably a little small for the camera. Oh, yeah, there you go. There you go.
Well, and mirrored.
Yeah, look.
Oh, yeah.
The
You're
camera
right.
doesn't love really shiny things
Like
for some
90
reason.
mil petty. This comes super handy. Like Rainbow Damascus has got a VG10 in the core, super thin. When you have it in your hand doing the peeling jobs core, this comes out. This is really
Shaving garlic. Oh, wow.
yeah.
She's a beauty. Okay, so Saji Rainbow 90 mil petty. We got a Saji Rainbow 130 mil petty. Looks like we've got a Bunka, a Nakiri, and a 210 Guto. How many of these do we get? A couple of each? A couple of each. So these are the kind of things that are going to go very quickly. That's a really sought after thing to have this sort of, what did you call it?
Saji VG10 Rainbow Damascus?
The Rainbow Damascus. Yeah. Is there a Japanese word for the Rainbow Damascus? Like I've heard mokume before. Is that what it is?
He calls it Yushoku.
Yushoku
Damascus. Yushoku basically means the color.
Oh.
Oh, Nakiri. This Nakiri is beauty though.
Whoa.
This Nakiri.
I guess we didn't really show the bunka. I just like kept sliding them across. Wow. Okay, so this bunka is nice and light and thin. Beauty. So we'll do the thing Kevin says. We should probably remind people that this is Knifewear. We have our garage sale. It starts on Monday. All these knives. We're just doing a little unboxing right now. We're getting a good feel for what we've got. Now to orders all sorts of unique stuff in for the week. Monday kicks off the sale. It's going to be busy. You can shop online and in store. Something that we've recently started is that if you are in store, that inventory that's in the store, whether it's in Vancouver, Calgary, Edmonton, or Ottawa, is only available in the store
for a day.
For the Monday. It goes live on Tuesday morning. And so if you're shopping, you can go, if you're in a city, you can go to one of the stores and see the stuff there. But also the really unique, one-of-a-kind kind of stuff is all available online. So if you want a strategy, I'd be ready to buy some stuff first thing on Monday morning. So that's 8 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. And again, November the 7th, 8 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. Buy what you want. Get those fancy things in your cart, buy them, and then check out right away so you don't miss the chance to get them because it could go to someone else while you're waiting. It is very limited. Like we got one or two of these things. So pull the trigger, get them. But you can come back and buy more stuff, and we will put it in a box together for you. We can bundle the order together. Or you can go into the store and check stuff out there too.
This is that time of the year. I'm like looking at a blaze like.
Yeah, right? Yeah. Christmas for Naoto. Hey, do we have anything that hasn't arrived yet? Sometimes we get special stuff or things that arrive a little bit later in the week, and we have like a little re-up.
I think we're gonna get something super cool sometime next week. So what we're going to do is the next Thursday we're going to do another. Well, on Monday. Let's talk about the first day Monday.
First day Monday.
Yeah, first day Monday. Next week we're gonna do the so-called the marathon garage sale live, starting on 8 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. Because we have changed this clock.
Mm-hmm.
Mountain Standard Time, 8 a.m. We're gonna start the garage sale live, like whole day basically. Like we're gonna answer questions.
We're gonna do this all day.
Recommendations
All day we're gonna do this.
Those knives that we won't be able to talk about today. We'll get to do.
If you have questions, if you want to see the knife up close that you just bought, that's often what happens. People buy that knife and they say, "Oh, I want to see that thing."
Yeah, so that's happening on Monday.
What else are we going to be doing? We got some demos.
Oh yes.
We're going to be teaching us how to make tamago yaki.
Yes.
And some hot pot.
Yeah.
We often stand here, do our garage sale live on Mondays, and we talk a lot about stuff that we can do. And air guitar, a Hanasuki. We're actually going to just do them. We got a little station set up. We're going to do some demos. We're going to talk about carbon steel. Talking about stuff.
We got
Listen, guys.
Here to show you.
Oh yeah, look at that.
Oh, there you go.
Oh wow!
And we got a schedule.
Who made that beautiful graphics? Somebody worked hard on that.
Yeah.
I believe that's Channel 4, circa 1989.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Listen, we've got a fun surprise.
Yeah. Oh.
Mike, you and I used to work with this guy.
Oh, hey, buddy. How are you?
Wow, good man.
You got great.
Chris
got
Green, come on over, man.
It's a cook turned blacksmith here.
Here, folks. So here, you go step in the center there, and you get to pretend you're important.
I am important.
Oh yeah, sorry. You're the most important person in your car.
Thank
So this is Chris Green. He's a chef that Mike and I worked with years ago, and now Mike and I aren't chefs anymore. Chris isn't. He's a blacksmith now, and he's just delivering some knives that we carry at our sister store, Kent of Inglewood. So why don't you just show us off some knives here, Chris? Maybe kind of tell us which. Okay, so this is how you do it on the down camera. You got to hold it up here. Make sure it's like center of the screen. Okay. And then put your hand underneath it. Because then look at my Band-Aid. And then the camera focuses at the right spot.
Okay. All right.
So what you want to do is tell us. Well, first tell us who you are.
Well, my name's
Chris Green. What are you doing?
I'm a bladesmith here in Calgary. Many years ago, as Kevin said, we worked together as chefs, sous chefs, and got to know each other really well. Fell out of contact, and now last 5 years we've come together, and he sells knives and I make knives, so it's kind of a match made in heaven, so to speak.
It works, doesn't it?
And these are some of the latest things I'm dropping off for Kent of Inglewood.
Oh my God.
And none of these are priced yet.
This is a twisted Damascus with.
Just pop your palm right. Yeah, there we go. Right under the knife.
Because then the camera focuses on your hand. Okay.
And then just bring it towards me a little bit.
There we go.
Yeah.
All right. There you go. Or should I hold like that?
Whatever way you like.
All right. We'll do it that way.
Now growl like a tiger. Yeah, good work.
So this twisted Damascus with some dyed stabilized white oak, matching sheath.
Oh wow!
So
who does your leather work, Chris?
I do my own leather work.
So you okay? So who makes your handles?
I make mine.
So who layers your steel?
I layer my steel.
Wait, who sweeps the floor?
Who swings the hammer?
I swing. I do everything.
Oh, who grinds your knives?
Oh, that would be me as well.
Who heat treats them?
That would be me as well.
Who anneals them?
Oh, that would be. Well, we don't really anneal, but good catch. Good try. Yeah, annealing is something that's done in larger pieces of steel. Knives are quite small. They don't really need to be annealed. The process of normalizing is enough for smaller knives like these.
Well, that's interesting because I know all of our blacksmiths in Japan anneal their knives.
Sometimes the interpretation can be different. Some people call it
Yeah.
normalizing, some people call it annealing.
Yeah,
okay.
So
it's
it
a
could be the
very
same process.
Okay.
Yeah.
So here's another one.
Okay, so that's the type. After you've like forged the knife, you kind of you bring it up in temperature and then lower it and then bring it up and lower it. That's that process, right?
Just like tempering chocolate.
Yeah, you're kind of just like
exactly.
getting it all lined up and squared away.
Yeah, and you kind of if you can imagine inside the steel is the crystal structure of iron and the steel. The iron structure is a cube, and so you want to essentially take that iron cube and you raise it to a certain size, and then you shrink it over and over again by lowering the temperature each time. And the more times that you can do that, 3 is kind of like the magic number. The steel gets strong and it gets tough. And there's ways to sort of harden the blade where the spine stays soft, but you never say soft, you say tough. So typically with Damascus blades.
Oh, I'm not soft around the middle. I'm tough around the middle.
There you go.
For your belly and mine, it's different.
Oh,
that's different. That's just soft.
Good tempered.
I've been well normalized.
What else we got? I can show here for you folks.
Yeah, show us some stuff.
yeah, there's some really cool stuff. This one, I think this was
I've got
almost
a
like a
question.
really
Yeah,
sweet
I saw this
carving
one
knife.
come in with this weird.
Oh yes.
This weird.
That's so you can wear it on your back. What slides into your back? That hooks onto your belt buckle, or no, sorry, onto your belt, and it sits on your back.
Oh, I was right.
Just like that.
Okay, I totally don't want that. I don't even want you swinging a knife around me like that. I just about lost an ear.
No, you didn't.
Dude. I've worked in kitchens with you before.
That was 20 years ago.
And you've got worse.
So this is I'm kind of inspired by South American sort of knife. This is a Gaucha, faca de Gaucha.
Well, let's see that on the top down.
Yeah.
I hope somebody buys this because I'm very tempted.
It's an Argentinian, Brazilian sort of cowboy knife. Typically fighting knives.
He was here.
So that's these days.
I feel like if you cooked a real big piece of meat,
Yeah.
and you could make it into smaller, more manageable sized pieces of meat after you cooked it with that.
They're basically camp knives. These facas. They'll do anything you can throw at them, and primarily cut meat.
So if it's over there, like you've forgotten it on the other side of the campsite, would you ever say, "Get to the faca"?
Of course. I yell that all the time across my shop. There's another little one.
Well, I have a bit of experience because Nathan, do you have any Chris Green knives?
Oh, I have a 12-inch Bowie knife.
I
that
took
like to
the
bushwhack
12-inch Bowie knife that belongs to Nathan, made by this fine gentleman here, and I chopped a piece of wood with it, like a firewood. Like I did it in 2 swings.
There you go.
And you know what? You could still shave with the knife after. It was ridiculous.
And I saw Nathan baton a lot of wood.
No one.
Yeah. And he was just hitting it with it. So he'd whack it into the wood and just smash the spine with another piece of wood. Nathan's very delicate.
delicate flower.
Delicate is the way I would
Delicate
describe
like a
Nathan's
derailed
skills.
freight train.
Anyway, listen, Chris Green, here's a rocket for you because that's the best candy.
Okay, can you just ring me through for this one?
Well, here's the thing. Chris, thanks for coming.
Of course.
If anybody has a question for Chris or wants to know something more about these knives, you've got about 40 seconds to let us know. And we're just going to...
well, Trevor Rickards
is
a big fan.
None of these have been priced yet, as far as I know, or even photographed. But if you want to know, I'm sure we can...
and they have been priced. I can grab you prices if there's any.
Okay, so we can work that out for you.
Conveniently, they're usually a round number of like 500 or 700.
Yeah,
that's nice on
paper. And these are just in the warehouse, ready to find new homes right now. And
once they're received, you'll find them on kentofinglewood.com. That's the website for our other store where we normally carry this and other outdoor knives. kentofinglewood.com. And Chris Green, you can find him on the social medias. I'm looking at his business card that's right here in the box. It's at Black Cat Metal. That's the name of his company, but it's black.cat.metal.
Okay, 2 questions. Chris, do you make axes?
I can make an axe. I haven't made one in many, many years, though.
You're going to have to talk into that mic.
Which one? I have made axes. I have made one for many years. They're not my specialty, but I can make them, yeah.
Okay. What is your favorite grind type? You got a real nerd question here.
Well, favorite grind type is this one here.
we were just talking about that. Remember right here?
Closer? There. Nope,
There you go.
there. So this
Doing
one,
good.
this knife right here is my favorite grind type.
Don't move it too fast. The camera needs to focus. Okay. Relax, man. Chill out. It's not hot anymore.
So it's an integral bolstered knife, and if the camera can pick it up, it's got quite this steep plunge line. Which way?
Bring it towards me. Yeah, there we go.
How about that?
Yeah.
So something along those lines, really sculpted. It's comfortable in any direction.
I love the grind in here. Like that's just, it's good looking. It feels good. That's just, and I think it just ups the cool factor.
But in terms
I'm
of
a fan of that.
Yeah, I am too. But in terms of like edge geometry, it ultimately depends on the knife. This is sort of a modified Appleseed convex edge, where it's flat and then gradually transitions into the cutting edge. So it's quite strong, quite substantial. It'll pretty much go through anything that you can throw at it.
What did you call that grind?
Appleseed or convex.
Appleseed.
It's also known as a pumpkin seed.
Really?
Really?
These are things I don't know.
Okay,
That's one of my favorite. I find
know.
a convex cutting edge is a very utilitarian edge. I've even put it on kitchen knives, and it holds up amazingly well. It's pretty, and it's hard to achieve a good convex cutting edge, but once you do, it'll last for like ever.
Yeah, I've done a lot of bushwhacking with my knife from you, and it's still. I keep thinking, I should probably sharpen that. I tuned it up on a honing rod once.
Yeah.
And gave it a strop.
Yeah,
and I've had it since 2020.
Yeah.
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 Can we see that green guy again? Somebody's
this one?
Yeah, somebody's asking about
The
that.
green guy, he's holding the knife.
I'm holding it.
Jesus Christ.
I'm a dad. I'm allowed to make that.
So the Damascus is made out of 15N20 and 1095 high carbon steels. In terms of the layer count, I couldn't tell you. I kind of just sort of feel my way through the whole business. It's very organic, kind of creative process for me.
What's the point of the grind here on the drop tip?
The false edge,
I
the
guess
clip.
it's not really a drop tip.
It's kind of to sexify the knife, and also
because I like it.
Yeah, to create a sort of more pokey end bit here. It lets you kind of get in between things, like say if you're skinning, you can get in between tendons and ribs and stuff. This is sort of what's known as a outdoor utility knife. It'll kind of do anything you can throw at it. It's got a longer cutting surface with this recurve, so if you have to do any hide work, it can just travel right across the hide without getting caught up.
It's got that grind here too. Excuse me. Oh, Chris, we have to talk about knife releasing again.
Yes.
I haven't had a knife years in a while.
No, it's been a
And
number of years.
It needs to happen again. We need to have this. We need
Done.
to incorporate this kind of grind, and then we need to keep some black on it too.
Has this become the Kevin Shopping Network?
This is the Kevin. This is the Kevin Kent Shopping Network, where I just personally shop for things.
Perfect.
We bring in craftsmen. I make requests, and then there we go.
Awesome.
Chris, thanks so much, man. I'm glad you came by to deliver those last 2 knives. Enjoy your rockets.
You know I will.
Enjoy your rockets, and now we're gonna have to get back to the regular viewing. Yeah, because there's
For shame.
hundreds and hundreds and thousands
I know,
of people
there's-
watching this online.
A lot of knives here too that
Hundreds of
need to be
thousands.
sold. So, well, by all means, start selling.
Do you want to see something cool?
Yes. I will.
Fives of
Okay,
tens
here.
of people.
You stick around here.
Yep.
I'm going to bring you something really cool that I love right now. And you can tell me what you think of it. And it's going to be this guy right here. I'll make sure it's got that.
Do you want the knife?
If you're just tuning in, folks, this is our garage sale unboxing video. We're just going through a bunch of the knives that are going to be in the sale on Monday. And pop your questions in the comments if you got them. We'll be following up with questions you've asked already pretty shortly. So this is one of Kevin's favorites, huh?
I love this knife because it's so bizarre. Is that the right sheath here? What do you think of that? Have you ever seen a knife like that?
I have, actually.
Oh, you have?
Yep.
Do tell.
It's been a number of years. It was at a Smith shop on the West Coast. And it was kind of, the gentleman was just kind of like playing around. He's like, come check this out. I was like, okay. And he showed me this crazy sort of single beveled knife with this sort of food releasey kind of thing near the top. And I was like, that's interesting. And I haven't seen anything similar in 5 years. So interesting.
Well, he's a sickle maker, so he makes this
Oh, that explains a lot.
guy. Check out all of the bends and
That's intense.
like that's yeah. There's that too.
Crazy.
Isn't that a wild
Yeah.
thing? I don't even know what to talk about it. There's so many things going on there. There's so many bevels hammered in. There's so many unusual grinds, and there's so many bent bits.
Should do like some cut tests on it.
Well, Nathan's been using that one gardening. It's a gardening
cool.
tool, right? Now, here, why don't you show Chris this knife now? You know more about it than I do.
Ooh.
If you come over here, you can answer questions or even
This is
guide us
actually
through
really
it.
good segments. This next one was all one of a kind.
Oh, perfect.
So here.
Well, that's perfect because Chris's knives are all one of a kind.
I
as
know,
well.
right?
Can you say that again into the microphone, Naoto?
So the next section is all about the one-of-a-kind knives. So something like Nigara's he calls a troll killer Damascus, hand forged welded Damascus like that. Or something like this,
Oh, fantastic. It's got a...
and also something like this, Mazaki-san's he calls it Watetsu series. Watetsu in Japanese, it's the Japanese steel. Japanese steel, though, this by me, he actually uses very old, hinge, door hinge. That was made like in hundreds of years ago.
Okay.
And he melts it and he stacks them up, folds them a few times to get that.
Is it a wrought iron then that he's using?
Not really. It's raw iron, and the watetsu is slightly different.
Okay.
Raw iron is made by the paddle, the paddle way of making the steel. It is not necessarily the same way, but at the so it's got a little raw finish, right? It's in the forged welded in the house. Core is the white number 2, the Shirogami number 2. This is also really unique. Let's go with this guy here. Tasai-san. It's a beba. This is the, he is primarily a chisel or the plane maker. So he forged the steel to make a Damascus pattern, but how he actually forged weld the core steel is quite a bit different from a lot of blacksmith or the kitchen knife makers. As you can see, the core steel comes to here.
Now, so could you show that in the camera a little bit more? Perfect.
You see that it's rolled over a little bit? So lots of knife makers, kitchen knife makers, when they forge weld two pieces of steel like this, like layers of steel and a core steel, they just put it this way, right? The chisels, traditionally chisels and plane blades, they are actually done this way.
Yeah.
So folds the hagane over on the other side.
Yeah. That's a very traditional joinery technique for
And
forge welding.
that's fine.
Yeah, fantastic.
So you can see the line of the forge weld is like right there.
Oh, brilliant. So as a blacksmith, looking at other makers' work and having you explain it, now I can really sort of see what's going on. So the idea of forge welding is you take sort of a higher carbon steel or a more expensive steel traditionally, and you would attach it to a less expensive or more tough, softer steel. So knives are perfect examples of this. And in knife making now, it's quite interesting because we can actually attach, Damascus to a carbon core. And so really, ultimately, as you get into the sky's the limit, you get into space. So the old techniques of preserving tool steel because it was so valuable and attaching it to more plentiful steel has now been transitioned into both steels are expensive. But it creates this unique, beautiful piece.
Well, still the functionality too, right? Having
Absolutely.
a softer steel makes it really easy to sharpen.
Yeah.
You don't have to grind whole like hard steel.
Exactly.
But I don't know if the camera can capture this. Or you can kind of see.
Just kind of barely see it.
Barely see the color changes. The forge weld's in this direction. Tasai-san, because he is the sickle maker and the flame maker, the plane it's much more straight and much more flat.
Yes.
Something like this. Also another Migara, beautiful like etched Damascus model. It's a lot of like you know how they make this, but I'm not gonna tell everyone how he makes the pattern. But
go ahead and just keep that right under the main camera there.
Oh, sure. Yes.
Yeah.
I was busy looking.
So are we.
So it's got it's beautiful almond Damascus. Even on the back side, it does see the tiny bit of forging line, the steel flow.
Yeah, it just adds to the beauty though.
Yeah.
Very cool. Most of these folks I've never seen before, so it's always amazing to look at other people's work. We get so focused on our own stuff that we don't often get a chance to.
Well, these are very really one of a kind. Like this is one of a kind. This is really one of a kind.
What's that?
Masashi is one of our favorite blacksmith.
Yeah.
There was called Hakatashi. It's the traditional bunka shaped in this area called Hakata, actually being in the Kyushu. It's got a little bit more carved up tip. It is more traditional multifunction knife in that the area, but how he forged really thin at the spine, but how he sharpens, because this is all Kuroji, it's like never been sharpened, right? So making this bevel really nice and straight, it's hard.
It's very hard,
It's
and
hard.
I can attest to that.
It's hard.
Yeah, I can definitely attest to that. There are techniques that I've taught myself about how when you grind things, you can watch for shadows and sparks. And that's sort of the first stage of really elevating grinding techniques is watching shadows and sparks. So, yeah.
Yeah, this is like,
Very cool. That's
awesome. That's awesome.
That's my favorite so far.
Then this guy, last one, it's called Kiritsuke Deba. Well, Genbu Deba. It's the Deba, the really thick, forged by Doi-san. He is the kind of legend blacksmith in the Sakai area. This company, Sakai Takayuki, asked him to make very unique, weird fish fillet knife. It's got really thick spine on the outside.
Yeah, definitely.
This Sakimaru, we call it, the like carved tip up like sword tip. It's not conventional fish fillet knife, but having that, it just makes it really, really cool.
That's really interesting. And what's is it for sliding through you?
It's more aesthetic.
Okay.
Aesthetic than anything
Fair enough.
else. But
Fair enough.
it does help to, so it is fish fillet knife, so cutting into the like again, cut into the belly and that makes it a little bit easy.
Gotcha.
It's a mirror polish there too. So.
Derek Brown, if you're watching, you were asking about this knife.
So cool. These are one-of-a-kind knives that we have. I'm pretty excited for all of these. I'm a little bit like I love this. This is fantastic. It looks like totally cool. I'm like really excited about this size of Biba as well. Because you don't get to see, because he's not a kitchen knife maker. He doesn't make a lot of kitchen knives. And when I heard that he made actually really cool kitchen knives with Damascus, and I know because he's such a particular blacksmith that the forging techniques and the sharpening techniques are just fantastic, right? So I got really excited to.
Well, it more looks like a tool to use in the garden to me than an actual knife. Is it stainless Damascus? Yeah.
No, it's a carbon steel Damascus.
Doesn't look like it. The way the chatoyance, it does not look like a carbon Damascus.
No, there's no stainless on this one.
Very cool.
The forge welding in Japan, especially for the kitchen knives or the tools, they don't weld them before. You've probably seen them before, right? They stack them and with the flux and forge them, right? Yeah. Some knife makers I know they do that. North American technique of make the rivets first. Yeah. They don't do that. That's one of the reasons why they don't really do the stainless Damascus.
Right.
A lot of work too.
It's
stainless Damascus.
I only know a few people in the world that do a beautiful stainless Damascus. So yeah, very cool.
They're beautiful, eh?
Yeah, gorgeous. This is my favorite. This is amazing. This one.
Oh yeah.
That's incredible.
And that shape and the taper. Oh my god.
Yeah.
There you go. Flat.
There's caliper.
Yeah, if you folks at home, like this knife we're looking at here, this is my favorite. This is incredible. From a knife making standpoint, this ticks all the boxes.
It's like it tapers out all the way down to 1.4 millimeter thick, and it is by forging. It's not the grinding, where it starts off from the 4 millimeters, and also the way he starts it, this chunk of steel is much more thicker.
There are ways though to make it look like it's been forged. Like, believe me, I know the tricks, so I could make something look forged too, even though if it is ground.
Hey, Naoto. Really quick, we've got a question about the troll killer. Trevor was asking, does the maker of the knife with the sawtooth Kurochi have any background in sword making?
Yes.
Yeah.
So the troll killer, this one here, Nigawa Yoshizawa-san, he is he's from the family of sword makers in Aomori region. He is trying to become one. He hasn't had much time because in Japan, in order for a person to become officially a swordsmith, you have to be certified. So he hasn't had a time to be certified. He is skilled enough to make the beautiful knives like these. And if you're not certified and make a knife make a sword-looking blaze, you are gonna be in trouble in Japan. So, but yes, he is from the sword-making family.
Yeah, got to be careful.
I think you can do it here.
Yeah, even if I was to forge a katana, I would only call it a katana-shaped object or inspired by. I would never actually call it what it truly because I don't have the background in making katanas. There's so much more into it. I could produce one that looked like it, but it would not be a true, in my mind, it would not be a true katana. So.
Some knife makers, like in some blacksmith that we know, and there's one island blacksmith in the Soul Spring Island.
Yes,
like he was actually
I can't remember his last name.
He was, I think, trained under the swordsmith.
Yeah,
and he makes beautiful.
He does
kind of
absolutely
and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I don't think he makes that steel. There are some like swordsmith in Japan who collects the steel sand and makes their own actually homemade tamahagane and makes sword out of that as well.
Yeah. No, as far as I know, Dave uses old farm implements, which are very high carbon steel. It does a beautiful job, amazing job.
Yeah.
Like
I've
no
seen,
electricity in his shop.
Yeah, I've seen his work, and it's like, I would love to actually visit this island.
Yeah, you should. He's a super nice guy.
And that part of the Canada is like beautiful.
Oh, it's gorgeous.
Anyways, so that was the one of a kind. Sky, is there any questions?
We kind of went through the ones that we had. There was just people that were waiting to see the Tosai, the troll killer, and the Genbu, which are just, oh my God.
I'm glad that some people actually caught this knife existence, I guess.
Notice
we only
it.
have one. Tosai-san is not really known a kitchen knife maker, but the way in which he does the work is incredible. And it's like, that's a fantastic job.
Oh, absolutely.
Awesome. Yes, so what are we doing? So right now,
good question. Garage sale?
Yes.
November 7th to the 13th, in-store and online. Starts at 8 a.m. online, 10 a.m. in-store. How'd I do?
You did great.
I read it.
Definitely not reading anything off of a paper.
Thank you.
It wasn't reading anything.
Yeah, no, definitely not.
We're doing our garage sale unboxing. Our friend Chris Green just showed up to deliver us some knives. He's a blacksmith here in town, blacksmith, bladesmith. So we just kind of like went on a bit of a tangent here, looking at some really sweet stuff, talking about knives, because that's like the greatest thing about this job and the people that work here is we're actually all into this stuff.
Yeah, all knife nerds.
And it makes your life easier if you actually like what you do. Hey, you know anything about that? Yeah.
Love what you do, never work a day in your life.
Yeah, right. That's what they say. Yeah. So we have our garage sale. We're going through the products that we're going to be selling. The sale starts on Monday at 8 a.m. Mountain Standard Time, and it starts in store at 10 a.m. whenever the store is open. And we've got stores in Edmonton, Ottawa, Vancouver, and Calgary. The online inventory is exclusive to the online, and the store inventory is exclusive to the store, so that it just makes life easier for everybody. Now, we do have a very limited number of these things because this is not the stuff we carry all the time in the store. Hey, buddy. Thanks to see you.
Thanks for coming, Chris.
Thanks for the cameo. We don't carry... Naoto here orders the stuff for the garage sale, and it's not exactly all the same stuff that we have all year round. We try to bring some more exciting stuff in. A lot of it coincides with our trips to Japan, where we meet them. We talk about their new products they're making. We let them test some stuff out, so we get really unique, one-of-a-kind type of knives. We also scavenge warehouses and find really sweet deals. So that's the kind of the dynamic. We have a couple combinations of stuff. So on Monday, we'll be running our marathon. Some might even call it a telethon, or I don't know what it's called now, a live stream-a-thon, where we are going to stand here for probably 8 hours talking about all this stuff. It's going to start 8 a.m. It's going to run till 4 p.m. We're going to have demos. We're going to have Q&A periods. We're going to have shenanigans. And it's a great day. We hope you come in and join us. A lot of times people will go and buy their knife and then ask us to pull it out and take a look at it, show it off, tell them a little bit more about it. Maybe Naoto's got a story about the maker for you too. Also, this is a great garage sale to get your Christmas shopping rolling. We have some cool little accessory type of things. We have really unique gifts for people. We've got knives for those people in your life that are getting into cooking, should get into cooking, moving out of the house, deserve a good reward. We got all kinds of good stuff there.
People who have knives that you don't like using when you're cooking at their house.
Decoys, yeah.
In-laws.
In-law knives, yeah.
Some discounted knives like Tsunehisas. We'll talk about them.
Right. Well, we're going to show off some Tsunehisas here in a second, but Tsunehisa is a great brand of knives. And yeah, they look the business. I think Tsunehisas are great. We'll talk about them in a second. But
we
first,
do have a really quick word from our sponsors of the day.
Oh.
And then we'll be right back.
Sponsored?
We got sponsored.
Sweet. Do I get free t-shirts or something?
Hey, it's Nate with Whack Chop. You're going to be in a great mood all day because you're going to be whacking your troubles away. Now look, here's a potato. 1 whack, you got big chunks for stews. 2 whacks, home fries in a second. And look at this. You add a mushroom. The more you do it, the finer it gets. You don't have to switch any blades. You love salad, you hate making it. Take the stringy celery, take the carrots. Salad! I love pizza too, but once in a while, get the veggies in. At least put them on top of the pizza. This tuna looks boring. Stop having a boring tuna. Stop having a boring life. Here's a hard-boiled egg. One chop, you add the pickle, you add the green onion. And then what you can do is you can mix things together. You add the ham, you don't have time to make breakfast. You can live an exciting life now. Breakfast to go. You're gonna love my nuts. Watch this. One finger. It's so easy, kids can do it. They're gonna charge you $1 for toppings at the ice cream store. What about fruit? Put a mango. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Put that on your ice cream. Here's the garlic with the skin. There you go. De-skins the garlic. The onions. With the skin. This is making you cry. It's making me cry. Life's hard enough as it is. You don't want to cry anymore. The skin's at the bottom. Hey, look at this. You want a little bit of onion? You don't want to drag out the food processor? The skin comes right off. We're gonna make America skinny again, one whack at a time. The Whack Chop sells for $199.95, but if you call now, we can't do this all day, we'll throw in the ceramic honing rod for 50% off.
Knifewear is not liable for any damage done to your knife as a result of using it as a whack chop. Side effects of using your Japanese knife as a whack chop might include chipping, twisting, scraping, folding, premature dulling of the edge, and more. Please consult your local knife expert before using your knife as a whack chop.
Did we lose a lot of viewers?
Yeah, did we just lose everybody there? That I can't believe that you guys do that for work. That's like your job.
You know what? I love my job. It's great.
That's pretty great. I do think we need to maybe teach the host of that video the difference between instant noodles and tuna.
Maybe, you know?
That's a real funny looking bag of dried noodle
It's called
tuna.
improvising with the stuff you forgot to buy at the grocery store.
It was me. I forgot to buy mushrooms. But you know what? We did have noodles.
Hey.
All right.
Oh, well.
That was a lovely word from our sponsors right there. And we are moving right along to Mitsumi Hinora, I believe, is next on our list.
Yeah, Hinora Jr. Hinora Jr. is turned into a pretty amazing blacksmith, eh?
Yeah, he's the Mitsumi Hinora. We went to see him last, was that April?
April, yeah.
We went to see him, and it was great. It was the father and son working together, and he's in charge of this brand called the Ajikataya, and his father is in charge of his Tsukasasaku, which is made by Tsukasa, his father. It's really good. I love we talked about this one when we did the preview, but I love how he sharpens the just enough core exposure, right? It's it's one of those knives that you look at and look at how he forged, how he sharpened. You can just tell it's so well made, right? It's
Jesus, it's like a little needle.
And the shape of the knife itself is the. I actually do have.
Those are nice. Those are really nice. Yeah.
I do actually have one of its knives at the my collection. The
cool.
Kiri.
Nice.
It's fantastic.
Yeah.
Again, it holds it really good.
Yeah.
Does
it feel delicate?
No.
Doesn't snag or bite the cutting board. Right?
Again, also because that the core exposure is just minimal, right? Yeah. But it's not that thick. A lot of knife makers, when they make the core exposure this minimal, it makes it a little bit thicker because it's how it sharpens, right? But
yeah. And it feels like along that shinogi line, there's a pretty hard edge there. It feels like it would drive the food off of the blade as you're cutting really nicely too.
It's really well.
I love knives like this that you see. They look kind of just like a normal knife. But once you get to know them a little bit better, you find out that there's a lot of intricacies that it's really hard to see unless you know what you're looking for. You don't need to know. That's what we're here for.
It's super thin behind the edge, too.
Oh, yeah, it's cool.
Yeah. And I love how he actually started to take initiative.
Yep, that's the word.
On the community involvement as well. He was actually involved in the Open Factory event a lot more, and he was actually ahead of the Open Factory event a few years ago.
Yep.
And
so in that Niigata region, they have a day or a weekend or something. It's an Open Factory weekend. It's a place. If you're ever in Japan, you should check it out, see if it's happening. You get to go through all of the factories and forges and see what's going on.
Yep.
And so he's a part of organizing that event in the blacksmithing community in Niigata. Big community in Niigata. And very unique styles. I think it's a great place. We get lots of knives from there. Can you tell me more? I remember when we were there, we were talking about the hammer that they use, because both he and his dad work on the same hammer and the same fire, the same equipment. They just take turns. But That hammer is a lot bigger than the normal size hammer.
Yeah. So traditionally that the Ajikataya or the Hinora family, they've been making a lot more thicker blades like habits, axes. And traditionally for those blacksmiths they used a little bit more heavy hitting hammers.
Right.
Where if you remember we had the knife from the Suzuki-san who is a sickle maker. Sickles are much thinner. Or the Munetoshi-san, where we went to visit, his hammers are much thinner. The hammers are so much faster. So it had actually a little bit of difference there. So the people who have the background of making thicker blades, in that area they call it atsumono or thick blades. They use the heavy hitting hammers. Where those people who make usumono, they use the faster hammer.
Well, I just remember that hammer hitting, and it felt like it was shaking the whole earth underneath you. It was so cool. So, the son of a phenomenal knife maker, Hinora Senior, makes really cool knives that are very hard to come by. We're very lucky to be getting these from his son, who is really coming into his own these days and is really producing beautiful knives. A little bit understated in comparison to the crazy torsion Damascus and type of work his father does, but he's focusing on function here, and it really shows.
Sorry, Sky, I was mesmerized by the little shine, so I wasn't really showing to those viewers. I was like looking at by myself.
Yeah, I want to look at this because
and Sky was like, showing the camera. Like,
show us. We want to be mesmerized too.
I'm kind of thinking that maybe I need a new 240.
Naoto, is that the 210 that you're holding there?
This is 210 I'm holding. The balance?
Yeah, we have a question about the width of the Gyuto 210 spine and if it's like a little bit rounded.
The width?
The width of the spine, yeah.
Okay, here. So here's the caliper.
Hi,
Of course,
Jordan.
each valleys, like this one here, at the heel, width or thickness? Is that thickness? Width. Thickness is 380, and width, let's get the height.
Yeah, let's do both just to be safe.
Maybe height. Okay. Height at the heel is 53 millimeters. So it's enough. Like generally speaking, the 53 is good. 55 is kind of standard. 50 maybe but it's actually got a really nice height to it. Like I have enough knuckle clearance as you can see. This is great because it's got nice roll. Like it's not super flat. Right, it's got enough carb to it, right? Like, so it's, for those who likes to rock, this is fantastic blade.
So it's a little bit narrower than a traditional Gyuto, hey?
Yeah, like traditional Sanjo style Gyuto, yes, it is a little bit more pointier, yes.
Excellent. And sorry, what was the thickness on the spine there?
Thickness of spine was 3.8.
3.8. All right, there you go.
Okay, so. Any more questions about the Mo-chan's knives?
Not for these guys. Just a lot of love for the Kurochi finish.
Yeah,
they are stunning. Like I was really impressed when these came in when I took photos.
We are going to show the some like deals. Deals. Do we have the sponsor for deal? No.
Tsunehisa is a great company. We get some great knives here that really are excellent knives and excellent price. Like this is a Santoku that's $158. This is the ZA18 steel. Just kick the camera.
Don't kick the baby.
Beautiful. Look at this knife. Now, anytime I talk, I feel like Slap Chop ShamWow guy. I feel very self-conscious after watching that video. I wasn't even in it. Okay, this is a beautiful knife. It's nice and thin. It's very, very classic looking. It really fits the bill in a lot of ways. It's $158.
From
Tsunehisa.
No, I mean from what price?
Oh, it started out at 198.
So all the Tsunehisa knives are 20% off at this garage sale.
Wait, they're what?
What?
20% off?
Yeah, so,
Right. So listen, if you're looking for that decoy knife for your in-laws' house, that you actually get something you can use that's sharp.
Yeah.
Ooh, look at this guy. This is like real nice looking. Very shiny. Very nicely polished here in the bolster. I'm going to turn it around this way.
we actually have a lot of selection on Tsunehisas. Go to our garage sale preview, and there's lots of discounted knives on the website. The prices that's on the website right now have not been discounted. So look at the price on the website and do your own math right now. It will be.
Did you just say do your own math?
The price.
Do your own math.
The price will be updated on the day.
Oh, I like that
So
one,
20% off. It's a great deal. Something like we have a lot of say Aogami Super with stainless clad knives like these. Tsunehisa. These are very descriptive, like Tsunehisa AS. Aogami Super stainless clad. Good.
Just move it around until the camera gets pointed.
Good.
Just thinking about it.
255 and now it's 204.
Oh, that's a cool knife. What steel is that one again?
Aogami Super with stainless clad.
Oh, that's like one of the best combinations of a blade. Because it's like...
I know.
The camera's doing. Oh, there we go.
Oh, there.
You know, we got a question earlier from Spoon Monkey. All things considered, what is the best value for money knife in the garage sale? And I would say like some of these Tsunehisa Aogami Supers are very high up there.
I really like this fella here. I like that handle. This I find the Tsunehisa, the handles get very nicely tapered and they're really slender on their slicers. I like that. It makes me feel like I'm using a really precise tool. This is the same combination of carbon steel core or Aogami Super, which is a really great steel. It's very good at holding an edge, and it is a carbon steel, but it does have a bit of chromium in it, so it doesn't rust. It does tarnish. It can rust if you're really mean to it. But if you want carbon steel performance and you're a little bit concerned with the maintenance factor, Aogami Super is great. Now, this blade is also made with this cladding steel on the outside here is all stainless. So basically no worries. So if you're looking for a carving knife for somebody, this knife is the business. And it's only $232 down from $290. Oh, Jordan, what's up, buddy? Jordan's one of our staff in our Vancouver location. And if you want to listen to someone nerd out hard on sharpening, go talk to Jordan. It is incredible.
On the heavy metal.
Or heavy metal.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
No kidding.
Specifically the Japanese heavy metal.
No, he does like a lot of different.
All the heavy metals.
This one is actually one of the newer Tsunehisa that we actually putting on the sale here too.
Let's see it.
Tsunehisa Shirogami, the white carbon steel, #1.
Oh, wow.
And stainless clad on the outside.
So tell us about #1. It is like white #2 is the one that we see more frequently, right?
White #1 has more carbon, and so that it becomes much harder.
Harder steel.
Holds
sharper
the edge.
edge. Yeah.
Keeps the edge longer.
Yeah. Delicate?
Could be, but it's actually hasn't been sharpened as thin.
Mm-hmm.
They may have actually, because of how the steel itself, they may actually left it a tiny bit thicker so that it doesn't chip it.
Well, and that makes a huge difference, right? And as you know, I went to do a video once about how to chip a knife.
Oh yeah.
And I used a bunch of the knives that we had from some staff training, where we were training on how to thin out blades. So I grabbed a couple. Nathan and I went to my house, had some frozen chickens, and I proceeded to beat knives until I could make them chip. And frankly, I couldn't make a couple of them chip, even though they were the same steel. It was how thin the blade had been made as the person was sharpening it. kept it from chipping. So sometimes if you have a knife that you find you chip fairly easily, it could be resharpened in a way that'll make it stronger. So we always talk about the steel being the thing that dictates the brittleness of a blade, which is in part quite true, but the grind is also quite important as well.
Yeah, like we have like a lot of them that's even like in a frame. I love these ZAs or like ZA Tsunehisas because like how thin they are.
Yeah, right. They're very, very light.
We're getting a lot of love for Tsunehisa knives in the comments.
Yeah, those are great deals. Like any of those, like this one, Aogami Sweeper, stainless clad, like simple, right? 148. Santoku?
Yeah, I mean they do the job that you want them to, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And sometimes the food should be fancy, not the knife, right? That's what I think.
Yeah. Nothing wrong with fancy knives, folks. I have a few fancy knives to cut.
Yeah, nothing wrong, but if it's not in your budget at the moment.
Exactly. That's why these knives are great for those kind of purposes.
Yeah.
I mean, you could actually go fancy like these guys without really breaking your banks. Like
Yeah.
right?
No, there's tons of great
Yeah.
things. Okay, so we're going to see these in store as well, right?
Yeah,
Not just online?
Yeah.
Great. So this is one of those great things. You should head to a store if there is one in your local area after you've done some shopping online. And it's always nice to hold and feel knives. And again, if you order stuff here and you get it shipped to you, and once you've received it, if it's really not feeling like what you were expecting, it's really not what you wanted, as long as the knife is unused and we've got all the box and the packaging and stuff, send it all back. We can make sure we try and get you the right thing. That's really our job. I mean, buying stuff online is convenient in some ways, but it's also difficult, and you can really get lost in the minutia of the details of the fine details like hardness of steel and give us a shout if you ever have questions about what you're looking at. If you're ever feeling overwhelmed with the internet rabbit hole, Hello at Knifewear has some great people that are there to help you figure out what's going to be the best thing for you, right? We're all about trying to make sure that the end user is going to get the thing that's the most appropriate. It doesn't have to be the fanciest, most expensive, shiniest, fastest, whatever, right?
Yeah.
So there you go. That's my PSA for you. Garage sale, fall garage sale. This is our fall garage sale, and it starts Monday, November the 7th. It runs right till the 13th. It starts at 8 a.m. online, and at every store in Canada, it opens at 8 a.m. Or sorry, 10 a.m. 10 a.m. in store, 8 a.m. online. Shop online first, then go to the store. We have more than just knives. We've got some really cool other things like accessories and gifts, and Naoto's found some really cool Japanese things.
Oh, here. Accessory side.
Like this.
Guess what that is?
I already know what it is. It's for all the little things that you lose inside your dishwasher. So it's like a little basket for your dishwasher. So you put like the little bits of your drink bottles that always disappear. Little silicone rubber things or whatever.
Yeah, it's like you've seen these for like, washing machines when you've got all your delicates in there and you don't want to wreck your nice bra.
Yeah.
It's like that, but for your dishwasher, if you're putting your bra in the dishwasher.
The delicates in the dishwasher. That's a butter cutter. I can tell you right now by looking at it.
Butter cutter. You can cut the pound of butter into about 21 grams of each.
What? I suppose they're all going to be the same size.
Yeah. So,
21 grams of butter, the perfect portion of butter for one slice of toast.
Yeah.
Or if you're Nathan, one half of a slice of toast.
Yeah. Are you kidding?
Nathan eats butter like most people eat cheese.
All right. Well, before we dig too deep into some accessories, we're getting ahead of ourselves a little bit here. We've got a couple cool general questions kicking around here. Joycey51 was asking, can you guys tell a core steel by looking at it, or do you have any other seasoned senses?
Once you use it and you can start to see if it tarnishes or not, that's about the only kind of indicator, but that would tell you whether it's a carbon steel or a stainless steel.
When I say white carbon to blue lines, like blue 1, 2, and super, When I sharpen them, I could tell because how fast they grinds, as well as the sparks. If you put that on the grinder, the color and how it sparks, it can tell. But you don't want to have that much of sparks on.
But don't do that.
Yeah. So
don't make a hardened steel blade spark, because that's definitely not ideal for the hardening.
No. So there are ways, but not. Oftentimes we have to basically believe what it says.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, and then we've got one from Trevor here. He said, when knife makers make these, do they have a very Western market in mind? Because he was noticing the bellies are very rounded, and was wondering if Japanese households are moving towards rounded bellies as well.
They started to. Some of the knife makers have, especially something like with the fancy look like these. Oh, it's hard to see. Shiny. Like, say, look at how the pattern goes, right? The other way. Like, this kind of pattern is definitely looking at the more European market for sure. Or North American, European, outside of Japan market. Although it is starting to, like, more and more Japanese people have started to appreciate the traditional crafts in Japan. So, but the still, like in Japan, santoku is the most popular knives in the household. Like this one here, this Nakiri, this particular knife maker, they still have very traditional shape. It's pretty shallow, right? Compared to some other Nakiris. And if you see a little bit more taller Nakiris, they are definitely looking at a little bit like markets, overseas market.
All right.
What now? What's next on our list of things to do there?
Who's the next in the pile there?
We have a small pile of Makotos.
Ooh.
And the new line called Kodama.
Oh, these are very interesting.
We have to kind of guess how he got this pattern, right? Kodamas here. Kodama means tree spirit.
Tree spirit.
And also means a echo. You know why it's called echo, like the and tree spirit?
Because when trees talk, they echo?
Kind of true. But if you go to mountains and you like say yafu to the mountain, you hear that echo back.
Yeah.
And in Japan, it's called kodama. So tree spirits are calling that back to you.
Oh. Okay, let's look at this knife. I kind of have a bit of a. I got it in the light here.
Very unique. You see the Damascus or layer pattern on this one. And you see it on this one better? On the Santoku, maybe?
Yeah, you can point at it. I'll get it.
But you can see the layers feel on this part, but you don't on the bevel. Usually, knives like those. Knives like those have the pattern this way. You see the patterns on the bevel, right? Like here. You see them, right?
Yeah. So it's on the top of the blade and the bevel typically. And then it only shows up on the edge because when you sharpen it, the core steel is exposed and you don't have Damascus in the core steel. Only very, very rare would you ever see that. But usually it shows up on the bevel.
Yeah.
So what does that mean? That means it's 5 layers of steel.
Oh, this is a secret.
Oh, was that a secret?
No.
I suck at telling secrets. I guess I'm good at telling secrets. I suck at keeping secrets.
I think it's just really good at the guessing.
I'm very good at guessing. Yeah. So is that right? It's 5 layers.
I think so. It's got a little bit thicker layer right on top of the core steel. Which, the core steel, what's the core steel?
This is VG10W. W means tungsten. They've added tungsten to it. And I was looking on the Technical Steelworks page. I think it's a 25% tougher as well as being harder.
Yeah.
So this is, like, VG10 is known for being an amazingly sharp steel. It's designed in Japan to make sharp knives and to still be tough, right? So they added cobalt to it, makes it a little bit stronger. while being really good at being stainless. So now they've added tungsten, which makes it even tougher, even harder. So it just sounds like VG10 better.
Did you see another steel that they were working on? They haven't probably released it yet.
No.
It's called the VG10 Zeox or something. It's got an XEOS.
Well, you know, if it's got an X in it, it's getting serious, right?
That's the
I
rule.
don't remember what's that called, but
Well, we don't have that. We have this one. Let's talk about this.
The W's, yeah.
Okay, and this is made by our friend Makoto Kurosaki.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Right. We have to talk about the maker. Yes. Makoto-san is the older brother of Yu Kurosaki, the blacksmith. Makoto-san is actually a sharpener. He learned how to sharpen at the Yoshimune Kato-san's place, the Hiroshi Kato, the senior. Then he went on and started his own actually sharpening company called Style K. That's what this Style K. Style K. And he is actually he became another certified craftsman dental kogeshi in that area pretty recently as well.
Yeah.
As a sharpener.
Yeah.
He's great. I don't know. He gets like a lot of blades from a lot of different blacksmiths and knife makers, then sharpens the way that he believes and thinks the best, right? So it's got really nice thin behind the edge. Besides the type of steel and type of finish that he likes to work on, and the beautiful handle.
It's also very interesting. Normally, when you feel along the line that is where the cladding ends and the core steel is exposed, you don't feel that line. That line's usually imperceptible, but I feel it here, like it's raised a little bit. Hey, that's really interesting. Super keen on this VG10W steel and the Kodama knives. And great price, $360 for the little guy, $390 for the big one, and a new type of steel, which is exciting.
Before you move on, will you just really quick tell that story about the Kodama, the tree spirits?
Yeah, didn't I say that?
Oh, you did? Oh, okay.
You should try paying attention.
Maybe
sometime.
I've had half a beer and shit's getting wild over here.
Hard work being behind the camera, Mike.
Maybe I'm trying to pay attention to 4 different things at
You can't afford to pay attention.
We've got too much ADD.
Okay.
These are exciting.
If this is exciting for you, it's definitely exciting.
These are exciting because these are one of the newer line of knives from this company called Sakai Kikumori.
Oh, I like these guys.
Really great. You know, they are the company in Sakai who works with a lot of blacksmiths like the Yoshikazu Tanaka-san, Nakagawa-san, and those famed blacksmiths. We do have some lines made for us with the Tanaka-san forge. They have been trying a lot of different bringing new styles, new finishes for the Sakai knife making.
Yeah, they're trying to push things forward, which is very cool.
And this is their new, latest, newest invention, I guess.
We'll open box up, man. Stop talking about it. Start showing it. Let's see it.
This one here is called Sakai Kikumori, and I intentionally left the wrap because.
Oh yeah, this is very, very well wrapped too.
Kikumori Kikuzuki Rin series.
Come on, I want to see the knife, goddammit. Oh.
I love these. These are so pretty.
Oh yeah, look at that, eh?
So Rin is actually written in the character Nashi, or the pear. So as you can see, they made the blade with the very unique Nashiji finish. Nashiji means the pear skin finish. For those of you who don't know.
So the Nashiji finish has got a very mild texture to it, right? And it's a very kind of matte finish as a result.
Forged by Yoshikazu Tanaka, sharpened by one of the very famous dental kogeshi in that area. Apparently they can't do it. But
they're not going to tell us who it is.
Yeah, they won't. But it's beveling is really, really nicely done, nice and full bevel. It's a really nice thin spine and a beautiful finish.
It's cool when you're pulling your fingers along the edge here and doing this little. It feels like it's going on a smooth, straight sort of plane, And then just near the edge, about halfway across the core, it just kind of drops down a little bit, okay? And suddenly it gets quite thin. So I mean, to me, that sounds like feels like it's going to be quite thin right at the edge. So when you're cutting stuff like peppers or green onions, it's going to be amazing. But it gets a little wider, so it's probably not going to be too delicate, right?
And I love how it's cut.
Yeah, they just like
Slant it a little bit.
They slanted, essentially shifting the blade forwards a bit. I like that too. I like that. You get a bit more of that edge over there. Yeah, it looks cool. Yeah, very cool.
You're in white carbon steel clad. These are really new. Like we're one of the first ones getting this series.
There you go. That's part of what we get at the garage sales. Very much not a garage sale in a way that John May, you are absolutely correct. But it's a very unique thing. That's the, whoa.
We have the
Doi. John May has brought up that Doi, this is a knife made by Doi, does that similar thing where they angle the choil out. But
yeah, like this.
Yeah. That knife, that Nakiri is so cool. Okay, again, Kikuzuki.
Kikuzuki Rin, R-I-N.
Kikuzuki Rin. That is not going to show anything. Okay.
You're asking too much of it.
Very cool knives. Very new, very exclusive. Fun stuff. They're kind of in the $400 price range. The 210's about $460. So decent price for what you've got here. Those are really, really, really well-made knives.
Yeah. Beautiful. Well, before we dive into the refurbished knife section, which is always super popular, we've got a couple questions hanging out here. Ben Sheps here asked for the 30-second elevator pitch for the Makoto SG2 Petty, because we were just talking about Makoto's knives. I believe we got a couple of those hanging out somewhere here. Those are always a classic favorite. We've
First
had a
of
lot
all,
of those.
SG2 holds an edge for an incredibly long time. It's very stable. It's so nice. SG2, so powdered stainless steel is what they invented because stainless steel was great at not rusting, but it never really was good at being sharp the way carbon steel was. And through new technology, they found a way to make stainless steel that holds an edge the same as carbon steel does. It's very, very precise, very clinical feeling edge. It gets incredibly sharp and holds an edge that way, and it doesn't rust. It's a little bit more difficult to sharpen on stones, but most of the time people just bring their knives to us. But again, it's not something that would be so difficult you couldn't figure out. You'd have to buy some nicer stones likely. That's about it.
I really like SG2 for a petty too. I've got one at home, and it's nice because you can just put it down, not worry about it rusting. You don't really have to worry about sharpening it for a super, super long time. And it's just easy. It's easy. It's clean. It's simple. Like, it's kind of the best knife for the job. Best
and
deal.
Sometimes having a petty knife that's stainless is great too, because I think those things get treated. They're there to do a job most of the time, and especially if one of those jobs is to cut citrus fruit at your bar during a party, you'd be able to do that and not worry about the acid eating into the steel.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And Makoto's an excellent sharpener.
All right.
We can't find it. It's probably because it went to a store.
It's hanging out. I know we've got some of that line somewhere.
Hit us up with more questions, Ben, if we didn't cover what you wanted to know.
Yeah, Ben was also asking about the Homura Gurins, which we just got to show off a little bit too. Those are super gorgeous.
Gorge.
GB was asking, is it difficult to sharpen HAP 40 steel?
You know what? HAP 40 steel is not difficult to sharpen. I found it just takes a long time, and it's important that you've got good stones. It just always seemed to me that you'd get it close and you'd sort of think like, oh, I think I got it sharp. But truthfully, it's not sharp until you touch it and it scares you. When you touch the edge and your body just reacts, like jumps away from it, that's when you've got it sharp enough. Oh, yeah. It can get so sharp. But yeah, HAP 40 is a steel that's not meant to wear very easily. As a result, that makes it a little bit harder to sharpen. What would you say about sharpening Hat 40, Naoto? What's your secret?
Say, for example, when you're sharpening a Kurosaki gecko for the first time, because he's sharpened so thin, you don't have to remove that much of steel, which makes okay to sharpen. When it gets to say very like you use them for a very long time and you have to remove a lot of steel off, then that's when it gets really hard to sharpen because it is designed like you said, the steel itself is designed not to wear, right? So it's going to be a little bit hard that way. But first couple of things, it's
What would you say about starting it? Like, what stone would you start the process on here if you're going to sharpen a Hat 40? Like something like 220, or would you start with something like one of those new Nanny One diamond stones?
Again, if it's like not super dull, and with the say Kurosaki gecko, it's very thin edge, I wouldn't worry too much about going down really coarse grit. It may be able to actually sharpen, put in the initial edge on with the 1000 grit, and finish it up. Just make sure though you work long enough to get them enough burr, right? Yeah. Then start working on. Otherwise, it gets. And if you find it's like it really depends. If you find it takes it too long with the that particular stone that you're working on, then go down coarser grit.
Have you ever done a video on sharpening powdered stainless specifically?
Not really, but I don't know if it makes actually that much of a difference by making it a video, right?
Yeah, my experience with it was just you got to go. It takes you a little bit longer. If it takes you 20 minutes to sharpen a knife, it'll probably take you 30 minutes. Yeah, just to really get that super fine steel to where you want it. Like Naoto said, the golden rule of all sharpening is you got to get a burr off of your first stone on both sides, and then you proceed to remove that and refine the edge below. But if you think, oh, I'll get that burr up on the next stone, you're never really going to end up with the knife as sharp as it could be.
Awesome. And right after the last Rin series, we had a Sakai Kikumori question. Do we have plans to do the Choyo lines?
The Choyo lines, it's definitely on radar. The really big difference, I guess, between the Choyo line to that, say, Rin, is the bevel has been near polished enough.
Oh.
Forged by same blacksmiths.
That's fun.
Yeah, and the same same blacksmith heat and same steel. So I don't know.
Mirror polished knives are beautiful. They feel nice as they cut through food. They're great until someone uses your Scotch-Brite pad on the side of your knife. It's disappointing when that happens. Yep. Yeah.
I've definitely
And then you
experienced
say
that.
things like, "Boy, I sure am disappointed in you."
Yeah.
I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed.
You say things like, "Remember that time I told you not to touch that knife?" That'll happen. That's okay. We can fix it for you. Spoon monkey.
Whoops.
It's hard to compare the knife that we don't have. I have seen and touched the Tanaka-san's SG2 Black Damascus. Saji is a little bit thicker. He probably, because of the background of the those outdoor knives, he makes it.
Tanaka.
Shigeki Tanaka, we don't have.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Then I have no idea.
Yeah, we have. But the we don't have them. But from the experience, his SG2 Black Damascus is really thin. Where the although Saji's actually been like those ones are really.
What do we have that would be the most similar to that Shigeki?
Oh, the what's that? The Kurosakis are really nice and thin. Oh yeah, the Kato. The Kato are probably most. Well, Kato is thinner.
Cool.
Yeah, Kato SG2 is thinner.
Kevin's out here making trouble.
What else have we got there?
Moving
more
on.
Questions?
We got a question from Michael asking about scratch and dents. And I know we were just about to move on to the refurbished section.
Here we are. Michael,
we are.
You're right on time.
Hard at work, eh?
Kevin's really working hard at making some more scratch and dents for you there.
Scratch and dent you.
Oh my god.
Should we set the knives that way?
Yeah, we should.
Yeah, we should.
This time. Yeah. And then we'll just turn the lights off and leave.
Just leave them on the floor.
Yeah.
It's a weekend, right? So.
Yeah. Block it out.
Ooh.
In my shift.
Scratch and dent. Lots of them are refurbished. Some of them are really very light texture. Still.
I was just gonna say I'm having a hard time finding the scratches of the dents on this one.
Mostly it's a refurb.
Scuff right there.
Just so you know, it's a refurb. There's no chips. Edges been refined and resharpened.
Yeah, so sometimes customers break a knife and they really don't know what to do, and we'll get things returned or what have you. And so Naoto, who's just a craftsman on his own, right, when it comes to sharpening, fixes them back up, and we have great deals. Fujiwara Nishiji is an awesome knife. I've got a Santoku from this series that I love, and I swear to God, it is undoubtedly one of the sharpest knives I own. This is a little petty, a nice tall heeled. This is $109. That is something that I would snap up right away. This is a Fujiwara Nishiji. So it's a white carbon steel core. You know, it's a simple handle. It's got the Nishiji finish on it. Nothing too fancy, except for it just, it kicks ass.
This is what I don't know if anyone follows my Instagram.
What is your Instagram called? Naoto KW?
The most recent post that I did, the refurbishing, it's actually the repair work. Actually was for one of the garage sale knives. I didn't mention that. It was from Santoku.
I saw the pictures of this. It's beautiful.
Strip, made it to almost like 165 Gito size now. It's even actually shorter.
This is a Kumo Nakiri that's crazy thin. You can see how thin it is because there's actually a little bit of the core steel coming through.
Oh my
the
God.
cladding.
Good Lord.
I didn't notice that the first time I saw
This
it.
is so thin.
Wait, let me see it again. Wow, that is insane.
Oh my God. And it's re-etched, so it actually has quite a nice texture to it now. So I think you did an excellent job here.
And hey, while we're talking about this,
I want it.
Grant was asking, are the scratch and dent items in the discounted tab?
Ellie's going to add them before Monday, but for the time being, if you look up refurbished on the website, they will show up.
Is it a single item again?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
It's a single item with the
Single item with many variants. So
Naoto, you made these incredibly sharp, my man.
Yeah, that's fine.
it's funny how that works.
It's like he's good at his job.
Look at this Kokuto. It's beautiful. It's like,
Wow, I've never seen a Kokuto so pretty.
he's like made it nicer than what it was when it was new. Like super, super smooth and shiny and really nice and even along the bevel. Like, holy man.
Is that some 4D sharpening I spy?
What's that?
Is that a little bit of 4D sharpening I spy? It looks like it's a little thinner there on the back.
Like where you've pulled the
Yeah.
tip. The tip is, you can do a technique where you change the angle up at the tip of the knife here compared to the middle and the heel of the knife, effectively making the tip thinner.
Those are the not so much in Kokuto, but this three.
Is the knife you did in that video?
Yeah.
One of these?
Yep. The
Oh, got a great promotion in the comments. Private chat with girls.
Yeah.
With lots of kissy faces. And a link.
Oh my God.
Yeah, this one definitely has the broad the bevel.
Oh.
Is that the one you sharpened?
Yeah.
Wow.
This is the one that I did with the kind of sharpening kind of video as well as the lengthwise.
So as a Fujimoto Nishiji goes, they're very, very nice knives. We see a lot of young chefs picking this series of knife up because of a lot of the specs. It's got stainless steel cladding. It's got a carbon steel core. It definitely doesn't break the bank. And, they're relatively tough. But our man Naoto has, wow, you have definitely thinned that out. This is going to be a fairly high performance tuned version of Fujimoto.
And this had nothing wrong. Like this particular knife, for example, each knives have its own story, right? If someone got a really big trip, this one here actually had nothing wrong on the blade except the handle was in cricket a little bit.
Oh,
so
I
I
see.
had to take that off.
Yeah.
And since
Straighten it back up.
straighten it back up, and since we have to do a little bit of sharpening lessons with the our colleague here, I decided let's just
used it.
Yeah, use.
Nice work. You'll also find at all of the store locations. This is a good time for us. We cycle through the sample knives that we have on the wall. We like them to be as new as possible. So when you're using a sample knife in the store, it feels like a good idea of what it's going to be when you buy it. So those do get cleaned up in the store and retired and sold off at the garage sale. So that's a thing that's worthwhile checking out because those aren't going to be available online. That's just going to be in that store.
Yeah, and I know the Calgary, like for example, Calgary store is preparing a lot of demos.
While we're on this, Kuhn was asking what imperfections do the Shimo seconds have? Since this is kind of, I know this isn't quite refurbished, but the petty.
All those little Shimo petties.
Oh, the
yeah. I think it was a good time to check them out.
Wasn't it that they just had like they just had the tiniest bit of rust on them?
Yeah, on the
Just on the underside of the tang. I just took photos of these up close too. So if you're on the website and you look up
you
Shimo
got
seconds,
the worst one that I can't really show.
This is crazy. There's basically no imperfections.
it's entirely cosmetic.
It's totally, first of all, like Sky just said, it's cosmetic, and
Yeah.
secondly, it's almost like Where's Waldo of an imperfection.
Except for that one. Well, then you should show that one.
Wait, I want to see the janky one. I want it. It's got character.
Which one?
This one's
Shit,
I
show
can't
me.
really tell.
That's the problem is that you couldn't tell.
Oh,
it was
it doesn't look that
Yeah,
way.
it was the worst one because you couldn't see any imperfections.
Yeah, exactly. That's
So
the
you
worst
just
one
get a
to
great
show.
deal and nothing
Something
else.
Like this.
Oh.
A little bit.
Yeah, the choil here.
Palm. Yeah.
Oh, I like Shimo's.
It's not.
though.
It's not.
It's
focusing.
working on it.
Sometimes
There we go.
Oh, there.
Change
The-
it.
There you
that
go.
little
Yeah.
black. You see the black line on
See
the
that
photo?
tiny black speck?
He's trying to stop it.
Oh my god.
Stab him, Mike. Stab him.
No, don't let the intrusive thoughts win.
Right there. So some of them do have some like line like this, and that's it.
And that line comes from the cladding on the steel,
It's like,
right?
Yeah, it's like that little dents on by
and-
the hammers.
And frankly, that's a thing that exists in every knife after it's been made. It just depends on whether or not the blacksmith chooses to grind that away so you don't see it.
It's basically a little knife birthmark.
It's not that it's delaminating. It's not that the steel's separating. It's just plus it's in the tang, so
Yeah, so
effectively zero issue.
I'm really excited about these.
I really like these Kurochi forged from Haruyuki as well. Fujimoto, I'm sorry. They feel so good to me. I think if you wanted to start out with a carbon steel knife, this would be a very great place to be. Even the slicer, a carbon steel knife to me is really great as a slicer because you're dealing with meat primarily and you're not going to be trying to manage the same things that cause the knife to rust in the same way. But they feel so good, right? They're not flexy or bendy at all. They just, these Fujimoto hammer Kurochi forged, I'm sorry. So there's a couple of those. That is a 240 Gyuto, blue number 2, and it's $146.
I have this knife and it's one of my favorites right now. Like I got it so I could play with carbon steel and I've ended up using it more than just about anything else. You got to put your palm under it.
Don't eat that, Mike. You'll die. Give that to Nelson. Make him eat it.
And while we're on the topic of refurbishing knives, Jiaha was like, shouldn't these be more expensive for better finishing? Yeah, kind of.
You're probably right.
There's more love in them for sure.
Charge him more.
Yeah, just
sure. You can pay whatever you'd like.
We take
Here's
donations.
The suggested price. You can add a tip if you want.
All right. Are there any more refurbished knives, or those are the ones there?
Yeah, for the ones that is here or here.
Fantastic. All right.
We should have those ones on the same spot.
Oh, we just need to put these back in their boxes. I don't think we'll be talking about these on Monday at all. Monday is when we have a live stream. And on that live stream, we'll be talking about all of the knives. We'll be answering your questions. We'll be doing fun and engaging events. Kevin will be doing cartwheels and handsprings, back handsprings. Bike tricks.
We'll make the course, the bumpy, like some ramps.
Yeah, it's going to be a Red Bull penny farthing course.
Oh my God.
Let's make a lot of
I hope
ramps.
you guys are doing that.
Oh, no.
You are.
Yeah.
Bring your helmet.
No, I hope you guys are making it. 'Cause I wanna
Oh
buy
yeah,
it.
yeah, it's going to be great. And other fun things. Join us. Please join us. Buy the knives you want, and then come back and we'll show them to you if we've got them here. And then there's going to be a very fun thing that's happening. We have some very cool knives that are very, very hard to come by. Traditionally, people would sign up to a waiting list, but that waiting list has become so large that it would take 50 years for you to ever get the knife. So basically, we are starting a new thing with these very rare knives, like Tank and Shigefusa. We are moving them to a garage sale raffle. So at the garage sale, we will raffle the chance to buy them. We're going to let out about 5 winners, I think it is, a couple winners at a time. And we will contact you immediately, and you will have a bit of time to go and make the purchase. Make your final decision on the knife. And then it will move on to someone else if it hasn't been purchased. So I think what's in front of me is a Shigefusa, which is a pretty fantastic thing. That's it, hey? Shigefusa. Okay, what are we doing next? Oh, what? You want me to show the knife?
I mean, we might as well.
So demanding.
While we're here.
Okay.
Hey, Mike, can I enter my email into the
no.
Can I enter my email to win?
You can enter, but it's actually set up to not choose anybody whose email is at knifewear.com.
Are you? Wait, actually?
Yes.
Yeah.
No, staff cannot enter this.
Okay.
Staff cannot, and staff will be beaten if they
Okay,
win.
hold on. Before I'm going to show this to anybody, I'm going to look at it. Oh, dear.
John, we're going to be doing this Monday morning.
Oh,
so
dear.
we are going to actually draw it at 10 a.m. So you'll have time to enter
Yeah, we're
that
drawing.
morning.
We're drawing throughout the day. The cutoff is about 8:45 or
Yeah.
8:30.
So make sure to get your email in there before like 8:45ish.
And we'll draw one knife every hour.
Where do they go?
Yep.
Can we put the link to sign up to that in the chat or something?
Yeah, it's in the description.
That's
Wow.
really good, eh?
Yeah, that looks great.
Shigefusa is a legend for a reason.
Woo!
That's incredible.
Jesus, that is hot.
This doesn't need to go. No. This is the table.
I love how the thicker these.
At the Machi. Yeah.
Well, these might be, 'cause they hung around much.
Ooh. Oh, just gorgeous.
$1,650, which
Canadian
is
dollars.
frankly amazing price.
All right. So we got through some of our refurbished knives there. We kind of did our top of the hour stuff. We are on to, I believe it's Hatsukokro. A couple more Hatsukokros there, hey?
Good luck to everybody who enters the draw.
Yeah.
All right. So if you've got any Hatsukokro questions, now is the time to pop them in the chat, and then we can get to those once we're done looking at these beautiful knives.
Hatsukokro is this company who deals with lots of different blacksmiths and knife makers, and it's a brand, right?
Right.
It's a brand that they talk to those blacksmiths and knife makers, and they often like to do things that nobody else has done, right?
Yeah, they kind of commission knives,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
For example, this Hatsukokro
Oh.
ginyo. Gin means silver.
Oh,
Um,
yeah. Look at that. Oh, wow.
These series of knives
I remember looking at these
are
on Monday. These are so nice.
made by Yaoji. Yasuhiro Yaoji. Yasuhiro is the first name. Yaoji-san. Yaoji-san actually did the apprentice under the Kitaoka-san.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
that-
had some very interesting knives from him once upon a time.
Yeah.
Didn't we have like a single bevel
We did.
240 Gyuto?
We did. He's a single bevel guy. As a Kitaoka-san is the master single bevel knife maker, right? But Hatsukokro, again, they like to do something different and convince the blacksmiths to do again the different thing as well. So these knives are double beveled.
And
So
this
it's
is
like regular, you know, like
silver 3.
Ginsan. Yeah.
Ginsan.
Ginsan stainless steel. I don't know if that thing work. Oh, it's just too shiny.
Yeah.
Look how intricate that the Damascus.
Okay, you can also see right near Naoto's thumb how there are the way the light's reflecting sort of differently. That's because there are some heavy hammer marks there, creating that sort of fish scale texture.
So it is intentional, leaving the little hammer patterns right here. But if you see it close, like it's really hard to do this technique, right?
Okay, this petty is amazing.
It's so tall.
Ginsan is a nice steel. It's very similar to white carbon, but it's stainless, right? It's got the same sort of iron carbon basic pure steel, but they just add chromium to it, so it does become technically stainless. However, I find sharpening it is really nice and easy, and it's got a really nice crisp edge to it.
Good timing. We just got a question. Is
Yes.
Ginsan easy to sharpen, which I've always found it to be. Yeah.
Yeah,
Super
relatively
buttery.
speaking, relatively speaking, compared to some like the similar stainless steel like VG10, these are a little bit easier. But yeah, look, and we actually intentionally, for those like knife nerds who may know about this knife, came out at the other places, because we did see this knife when we went to visit the company, and it was much thicker. It wasn't like this thin. And I waited a little bit because again, Yaochi-san is a single bevel maker. He's never used to making double bevel, right? So double bevel was actually quite thick. First couple batches that we saw from him was quite thick, and I'm like, that gotta be changed. That gotta change because it was like wedging the food, right? When I saw this batch came out, like he is getting super good.
So
That's just your experience from knowing when, not
Right.
what to buy. Also, you know when to buy it. It's amazing.
Is this one of those situations where we talked to them and he changed the way he made it, or is it just his advancement over time?
It's advancement over time.
Okay, that's awesome. Cool.
Okay, so that's the Hatsukokro Tsuchimi Damascus Ginyo. Ginyo is the name of the series, Silver 3, or the Ginsan Steel. Very cool, very unique. Wow. Yeah, okay. What do we got now?
This is one of my favorite, the
Shinkiro.
Hatsukokro line. Because Shinkiro means a mirage in Japanese.
Get in there. Go touch
Alchemy
it.
Super with a super beautiful Damascus. I'd like to actually show this one the close. I can see now if this works really good. Look,
Wow.
Look. Yeah.
Oh. Naoto, I really like these.
This is so.
Naoto, I really like these. You have to say really 7 times before to understand how much I like these.
It's so well made, well forged, well sharpened. This, it's not super flat either though. Like it's got really nice. I don't know how I put it this way, like this. It's really so. This one, made with Alchemy Super by I've been told that I can tell. This is made by this blacksmith knife maker called Nihei-san in the Fukushima area. He is a relatively young blacksmith knife maker. He was actually born and raised in that area under the knife retail company. But he wanted to actually, stand out. Like he wanted to do something different from just a retail company. So he decided to actually learn how to make knives in sanjo. So the style of which looks really like a sanjo, right? For those knife nerds who knows about the little bit about knives from other companies, this is the same knife maker as the Konosuke Medai series that's not Alchemy Super, but this is fantastic. You can tell, like by holding it, like immediately you can tell it's like super well made.
Yeah,
Nice
got some
thick
beef to it.
spine at the beefiness at the choyo part, the top of the heel or the right here. and it tapers it down very nicely by the forge. And super nice, good taper.
Okay, let's
Very
switch spots so
thin
you don't have to
behind
yell so much.
very thin behind the edge.
You're starting to
as
get
well.
your death metal voice.
Oh, sorry, what was that?
But this is super well made. Beautiful Kurochi as well.
They're so clean.
Mm.
I'm not gonna lie. When I first saw them, I was like, "Oh, it's a factory made. Like it's a factory forged knife."
Mm.
And I was wrong.
No,
they're so nice. They're so polished and so clean.
Yeah,
the handles are tight. But they've got weight too, similar to like what I like about Moretaka.
Yeah.
Like it's got weight, and so it does a lot of the work for you. And I like that. But it's got a taller bevel, like really nice. Oh yeah.
It's very traditional Sanjo style. Looks like more Sanjo style though, eh?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's beautiful. I love. This is one of my favorite, the Hatsukokro series. Next, if there's any questions.
Yes, we have one super quick question. Not about these Hatsukokros, but about the Kumokage.
Oh, yeah?
I'm just looking for it here. Ah, there it is.
Oh, is that the one about the...
Yeah, about the slicer from
The-
Navari Online,
Yeah.
who referred to us as y'all. So I'm feeling right at home with this comment.
Howdy, y'all.
Howdy. Oh, hold on.
That's how you speak, Sky, right?
Yeah. I'm from the deep flyover state of Kansas,
the
unfortunately.
U.S. of A.
The U.S. of A.
What do they want to know about this? It's cool. It's weird. It kind of looks like a Final Fantasy sword.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Katsuo kiri. Katsuo means the bonito tuna, and the it is like a tuna knife in that region, and usually it's much longer and bigger.
Okay.
But
this isn't that big. Like
no, it's like 240 mil,
right,
or something like that.
So what's the deal with the tip?
It just made it look. I think it is designed to cut it in. It's like a tuna knife has that carved tip.
Right.
Like
yeah, so you can cut it
tip
into
first,
it,
and then you follow through.
Yeah.
So it's like functional, but also just
Yeah.
pretty cool.
And now it's like really purely aesthetic. It's like a Sakimaru Sujihiki.
Ah, I gotcha.
Yeah.
Right, I see. Yeah, it looks badass.
Yeah, which is a lot of words for like look really cool in American Thanksgiving.
Is it American Thanksgiving coming up?
Yeah, American Thanksgiving is coming up.
I've just read here that if you live in Texas,
Uh-oh.
That's not a good start to a conversation.
It's illegal
Sorry,
in
Ben
Texas to own more than 6 intimate devices.
Kevin, what's an intimate device?
I think they're also
Well,
called
any more than
sex
6,
toys.
you can't use them all at once.
You're not trying hard enough.
Well, you could. It depends on the.
Here.
But isn't that interesting now? So you
Now
can't
just like
have
look
more
at
than
this
6.
knife.
Look at this knife.
Wow,
Look at
that's
this
a really
knife.
cool knife
Isn't it
now,
great?
Joe. Here, show us there.
So this one here.
Nope.
This also the Hatsukokro, but the forged by Nakagawa-san, the Satoshi Nakagawa-san of Nakagawa Hamono, who learned all the skills from the. Okay.
Hi.
What do you think about this knife, Nolan? Come tell us. Huh? Come tell us. What you think about this knife.
Ginsan stainless steel. Actually, this is sharpened by the Morihiro Hamono of the. So the son of Morihiro-san, the. Let's see. That's beautiful.
Okay, do you know what I like about that knife, Naoto? That's one of those knives that when you pick it up and you hold it in your hand, if you know nothing about knives and know nothing about nothing, you'll pick it up and go, holy smokes, this is a nice knife. Every now and again, you get a knife that's just finished and just everything's right about it, and you just hold it in your hand and you go, knowing nothing about it, you just go, man, that's awesome.
That's really well.
Yeah.
The engraving's beautiful. I'm going. Good day.
Good day.
Bye, Nolan. Have a good weekend.
Another
No one's going to
really,
be packing up your orders on Monday.
another really exciting knife is this guy here.
Those are for...
It's this one. Hatsukokro, they call it komorebi. The Awagami number 2, it's really nicely sharpened, polished blade right here. We can't tell you too much about the knife maker blacksmith for whatever reasons.
So he's secret.
It's a secret. He's learned the skills under the pretty famous blacksmith and still youngish.
Is that a secret too?
It's a secret.
So a secret blacksmith and a
I
secret
wish I
master.
Secrets are no fun.
I wish I
Secrets
could.
hurt someone.
But great thing about this knife though is the it is got really nice thick spine on here and tapers.
Yeah, it's
really,
crazy taper.
Yeah, crazy taper to it.
But it's light. I was expecting it to be heavier.
Yeah, and the bevel is really nice and tall
Yeah,
too.
it's so shiny. Oh my god.
So I was like keeping an eye on the background, making sure Mike wasn't going to run into the knives.
Yeah, right.
And also Kevin is not crashing into.
I'm just waiting.
Well, we can't really help. Like we can't really.
I know. I have no control in that situation. I'm aware.
No, just ignore them.
Yeah.
Cool. I'm gonna wipe this.
Yeah. So still young, but very talented blacksmith and sharpener.
Mm-hmm.
The
How old?
they're in like there must be in either late 20s or early 30s.
That's really young.
Yeah.
Like when we say young blacksmith, normally we mean like 45.
Right.
but actually young.
Yeah.
This guy's cool. So this is the same as that one, right?
Yeah, that one is the so these two.
The Kurosaki, yeah. That's a beauty. This is the AS, right?
Yeah,
oh yeah, I was just recommending this to somebody.
Yeah.
Somebody on
is
TikTok
cool, right?
asked me
It's
for a
got
recommendation.
Yeah. Alchemy Sweeper, no stainless on the outside, made by this blacksmith in the Kumamoto. Yeah, he's in the Kumamoto area. Kumamoto is actually amazing. They got a lot of blacksmithing culture going.
Cool. Yeah, somebody just like 10 minutes ago was asking me on our TikTok account, hey, do you have an Aogami Super Gyuto for like $200 in the garage sale?
And it's like
and in my head I was like, no, definitely not. But I looked it up just to make sure. And sure enough, it's $230 for Jesus.
Yeah. Hand force the Gyuto for this price is actually really, really, really good.
Yeah. Yeah, that's big. That's $240.
It is made by the this blacksmith shop called Moto Kyuichi in the Kumamoto area. They're
and that's where the Moretakas are, right? Kumamoto?
Yes, the prefecture, yeah.
Right.
Different city, but
Right. Okay.
But Kumamoto's got a lot of culture too, right? The history, culture. They are one of those Japanese barbarians.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the because Kyushu, island of Kyushu, was not a part of central government back in it was like
right
1500 years ago, like
right.
a long time ago, right?
And that's down near the bottom of Japan, right?
Yeah, the west.
Right.
Yeah.
Cool.
That was a long time ago.
This guy.
Oh, the
Shirasagi, yeah. Woo! Let's take a close look at that guy.
God.
It's a beauty.
He's coming.
Oh Lord, he's coming.
Oh Lord.
Shirasagi is really good. This is also but made by the two young craftsmen, the blacksmith and sharpener. Well, blacksmith and the sharpener is actually a little bit older, but in Tosa. I may actually going to see them.
Right? Yeah, because you're going to Japan like in a week and a day.
Should I bring the base back?
You're going to go see Toro? Oh, don't bring the base back. No, it's fine. But, oh my God, that's awesome.
I'm not saying this is made by Toro, but
so that's made by Toro.
But you're not saying.
Not saying that. Yeah.
Okay, maybe explain who Toro was.
Yeah.
He worked with us, and he
Yeah.
maybe not have something to do with that knife.
So
Also, please bring him some Knifewear swag.
I am.
Yeah.
The same shirt as you were wearing.
Perfect. He loves
Yeah, he will. But there's a guy named Toru Tamura-san. Who used to work for us and with us in Calgary store. It was like 12 years ago, more than that, like a lot longer.
He was never there when I worked there.
Right? Because I started after he left.
Right.
You took his job.
Yes, I did. But yeah, he was here, like 13, 14 years ago as a working holiday visa. He graduated from the specialty school in Japan and wanted to become a blacksmith. So he, did the right thing. He came here to work, learn English, as well as to work at the knife store, the Japanese knife store in Calgary.
Well, he was living in Vancouver.
Oh, was he?
Yeah, and he saw an article about us in the Globe.
Oh.
And you probably can't hear me.
Bro, you can.
then you can tell the story.
Oh,
And then he called me and then begged for a job.
Oh,
so he moved here.
so he was in Vancouver and learned about us on a Globe and Mail, and he phoned and moved to Calgary to work for us. Then he worked for a year, went back to Japan and apprenticed under Hiroshi Kato-san, and also he worked with the Kurosaki and all those people. Then he moved on to the other blacksmith. Now he is in Tosa, forging blades. And we sometimes see them as a Tetsujin blades.
Not this one.
Not that one. That's the tank.
I'm just showing this off in case anybody's missed it. Sure. Hey, you could win a chance to buy this knife. These guys are really hard to get. They're called Tinker Tanks, and they're super cool. We have a raffle, link in the description. If you want to buy one, put your email down. And if we draw your name, you can buy one.
Yay.
The end.
My mic's off. I believe next up we've got Sakai Takayuki.
Just
Just a couple
new lines. Sakai Takayuki is this company who, is one of the probably the biggest knife company in the Sakai area. They work with the knife makers like Doi-san and Yamatsuka-san and a lot of other knife makers and blacksmiths. I've heard rumors that they are working on one of the new knife lines with stainless flat knives. They haven't done it yet, but I have heard the rumor. But this is their kind of new line called Ginga with ZA18. Ginga means galaxy. It's really nicely thin.
Oh, this is the Ginga. I actually haven't looked at these
Yeah,
guys
that's
yet.
really nice thin blade. It's actually really nice.
If you're on the hunt for like a good gift knife or like
Yeah.
a set for Christmas, like these would be the ones.
Really well priced. It's well, the stainless steel, easy to take care of. It looks pretty with the wrench handles. It just makes it look really cool.
Yeah, that wrench handle is really nice.
We have a lot of Sakai heavy knives, including like some Guren.
It's like chocolate swirl ice cream.
What's that handle made of? Chocolate swirl.
Chocolate swirl wood.
My favorite.
This 240 is really light. Holy.
It's super thin too, and how it tapers towards
Now,
the edges.
these are Sakai style, right? So are they measured from...
No, the
Okay.
measuring is gonna be like this.
It's normal.
Yeah.
Unless it has a batchy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Even with the match.
Sweet. Got any questions about these bad boys?
Or general?
Or general questions?
We've got a lot of general questions, and I think all we've got from here is some Q&A. Oh no, we've got the Kurochis, don't we? The Sakai
Yeah, where did
Taki.
they go?
They're hanging out in there.
Now to run away. Hit me with some questions.
All right. Sounds good. Let's see. Thomas said early in the stream he's looking for a gift idea, looking for knives from any women or queer-owned blacksmiths.
Oh, yeah. That was a great question.
Yeah.
Any knives from women or queer-owned blacksmiths? I think
Going for
is the closest we get the Tojiro Atelier.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. So we get some knives. We'll show you some in just a sec there. Called Tojiro Atelier. It's, Naoto can speak to it better. It's not very traditional for, I guess, women to work as blacksmiths in Japan. Fortunately, that's starting to change, and we're seeing we know of at least one female blacksmith who's currently an apprentice at Tojiro Atelier, Sayaka-san, under Tomo Matsumura-san. Yeah, they might actually come to Canada sometime soon to visit our stores.
I should talk.
I'll go grab you one of them.
Yeah, but it is like not super common to see the female working in that particular industry, except especially doing the blacksmithing work. I've seen though the one female blacksmith in not so much in kitchen knives. She is working for this blacksmith shop in Sanjo, making a small so-called kogatana or kiritsuke.
Cool.
So I'm not sure if she's still working for that company,
Right.
But she was actually starting her career.
And then there's Michiko-san, who does beautiful engraving, like hand knife engraving art, basically.
I'm so upset I didn't get her Gyuto from last year, the one with the dragon on it.
Yeah, we didn't get any this time, eh?
No, not this
Next time. We have a garage sale twice a year, so if we didn't get the thing you wanted this time, we will get it next time,
Seems
hopefully.
like Sakai Takayuki was doing a little bit of tour around the North America. I'll talk to them saying, hey, would you like to come to Canada?
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
In summer or winter? No.
Yeah, we're dumping here in the winter. This is torture. What are these guys?
What are these guys?
Oh, gifts.
So, someone wanted to see the 210 Manaka, and someone was also asking about good entry-level carbon knives.
All right.
Yeah.
We got you covered.
Where's...
What do they want to know about the 210 Manaka?
I believe Matthew just wanted to see it.
Yeah. Yeah, you do.
Which, like...
Oh, they want the N.
Oh, they wanted to see it.
Oh, the Damascus one. Well, we're showing you this one right now because it's super sexy, and we'll show you the end in just a sec. I just love how deep the hammering is, that like kind of, not really X-shaped, but like kind of pointy diagonal hammering on these. I really want a Manaka knife. I don't own one yet, but this could be the one. Not like I need a fourth 210, but we'll see. Here we go.
This is the end. My only friend.
Gorgeous. There you go, Matthew. Just gorgeous.
Yeah, it's hard. The camera struggles to pick up, or maybe it's just the stream struggles to show that Damascus. But if you check out the website, Sky took some beautiful high-res photos of all of these products, and so you can get in real close on that Damascus, or you can just buy it and look at it in person, and then you'll really know what it looks like.
Early on, we had a question from John May for Mike. When you do the chicken deboning, do you have to do at least one of the leg thighs completely deboned, but in one piece?
Oh, yeah.
That's like more of a statement. Yeah,
Oh,
I can
yes, it
totally
is.
do that for you. I can do the whole chicken in one piece.
Ooh.
We also
Do we need to
have...
buy another chicken? Sure. I thought about getting more than one. I should have.
We also have a video coming up in the next month or two, all about boning comparison videos.
Yeah, well, and we have a video we put out in the summer. Not a lot of people saw it, but it was a really great video. Lordy made it, and he debones chicken 2 ways. So it's on the website. It's probably on our Knife Skills playlist. But yeah, he shows you how to break down chicken 2 different ways. One for yakitori that's completely boneless, and then one for fried chicken that's bone in.
Totally.
But yeah, we're gonna. What's that video we have coming up? The boning knife comparison, right?
It sure is.
Yeah. So Mike compares like a boning knife and then like a really thin boning knife and then a
couple different styles. Awesome.
Yeah,
All right. Next up, Trevor was asking about a white number 1 Gyuto that looked extra long.
I remember this question.
Yeah.
That was the Hado, I think. It was a custom handle.
Those Hado knives are incredibly beautiful.
This was like 2 hours ago, but we had to move on. So Trevor, if you're still watching, hopefully it's one of these guys. If it isn't, let me know. I'll go find it. But these are Hado Sakai. They're amazing. I hope they sell first thing on Monday because I cannot afford to buy one. I really want to. I personally prefer this blue swirl handle. It's incredible. It's very psychedelic. And then this guy is a little more of like earth tone kind of colors. It's got a really cool kind of like knot going on in the burl there, which is really neat. But it's all stabilized wood, so it's really sturdy. And then a little bit of water buffalo horn in the collar there. And yeah, just stunning, simple blades that are super thin and nicely tapered at the edge.
All right. Next up, we've got another one from John. He was wondering if Kurosaki still does the Shizuku.
Nato? Kurosaki Shizuku, that's still in production, right?
I thought I saw one.
Yeah, Kurosaki-san still makes Shizuku. I'll check to see if we have any in stock. But Kurosaki-san makes a lot of different lines and is always experimenting and making different fun stuff. So sometimes it takes a while to get them.
Maybe.
That being said, here's a Shizuku 210. For you, John May.
Just for you, John.
Just for you.
Oh, those are nice.
Those
Yeah,
are
they're
so,
pretty.
so nice.
Yeah, that kind of squarish hammering that he puts into them.
Love it.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
And this nice, simple dark brown handle.
Speaking of Kurosaki, I have no idea how to pronounce this. Do you carry Wa handle Fujin? And I remember we actually have 2 of the custom handles for this sale.
We have 2 custom handles. There's one petty, like this one.
Just one.
One petty.
Okay.
Right. Yes, we do carry wall handle Fujin. We don't have very many right now.
Very sparingly.
I put out a video on our YouTube channel 2-3 weeks ago about how to get rare knives and knives that are always out of stock and why they're always out of stock. And basically the answer is they're handmade and really popular. Sometimes they sell out. But if a knife is still listed, if a knife is still listed on our website, chances are we're going to get it back in stock. It's just a matter of time. We got this question a lot about Takeda, for example, and we pretty much always have these knives on order. It's just a matter of when we get them. So if there's a knife you want, go to the product page, put your email in the notify me section, and when we do get it, you'll get an email, and then you can get it. But these garage sales are often when we get those lines in.
Awesome. Okay, rewinding a little bit. Jiha was asking about the Shizuku Nikiri. Suzuki
Suzuki
Nikiri, which lives somewhere.
And you could probably double down and answer the other person's question of what would be a good knife for cutting the cheese.
Oh,
yes.
Get 2 birds stoned at once.
We're actually working on a cheese knife video right now, and
we're just plugging videos that we've got coming up.
Spoiler alert, this one was one of the winners, big time.
Yeah. We had a cheese expert, a local cheese expert come in and talk to us and teach us about cheese and put several knives to the test that we sell. And the one that we thought we kind of just threw in as a wild card ended up being the best cheese knife. So this guy has a really shallow bevel, sort of like a Takeda knife. It's a bit thicker than a Takeda knife, but it's not super thick. And then the backside is flat. And then the top of the knife has this, he calls it an ear, but basically it's a ridge where the knife like scoops up like a half pipe. And you've got like a really thick spine, but a fairly thin blade. And so that actually kind of like stabilize the blade and keep it sturdy. But as like slices of cucumber build up on the blade as you're cutting, they flip off and break off that edge. So it's really neat.
So I can talk about this knife. I actually have one of the Nikiris.
Oh, damn.
Really like it. I was expecting it to drift more the way a single bevel really does, but it doesn't. It's so thin. I've just been using it like a normal knife, except for it's super, super fine. Like I can shave cabbage with it super, super fine. Like if you want something to get really nice thin cuts, this is great. I mean, I've used it for a week probably exclusively, and I've cut beef, chicken, like cheese, like onions. You feel it a little bit in something like an onion that's a little dense, or something that's like a daikon I cut. You can sort of feel a little drift, but you just sort of get used to it. I find that I take the knife and angle it out a little bit, but it's flat on the back. It's not got that concave backside. So it doesn't do that. Like if you use a Yusuba or a traditional single bevel, when you cut, it will curl in a direction. But
it doesn't cut like a
doesn't
Yusuba.
really do that.
Yeah, we got a demo one that we got as a sample. So maybe on Monday when we're doing all our demos, we can bust one out.
It cuts more like a mandolin than it cuts like a single bevel.
Totally,
right?
yeah.
I also think
Except
this would be an awesome
you're not going to cut
cheese
your
knife.
fingertips off on this guy, hopefully.
Right. I also think if you wanted a super, super, super fancy cheese knife, I would go with the Homura, because it's got a nice rigid blade. It's got a very stiff, very thick spine, and it's got a bit of a shorter bevel. I think this would work great as a cheese knife. It also has some fine texturing on the outside, right? Now, this is also one of those things that comes with big caveats, because cheese, while it is one thing, can be several different textures depending on the type of cheese and what you're cutting. So different knives for different purposes. Cheese knives, I mean, as far as a kitchen knife goes, they'll all kind of do it, but I think having less surface area is better. Okay, what do we got here? We got some, I think there was a question about entry. I want to get into carbon steel knives.
Yes,
What are some
from
good-
Jonathan.
Yeah, these ones here. So we got a few from Tosa, and they are they're going to get you where you're going. They are blue steel carbon knives. We got 2 blue ones here. So we've got the Hatsukokro Kumokage, which has got a nice little lacquer on it and a bit of Damascus to it. Right? And there's a few in this setup. They're nice. Nice finish here on the inside of the choil, so it's comfortable to hold. And blue steel is going to patina nicely and hold its edge. Now we've got this guy here. Let me just double check what we got. This is the Kyohei Kiyaki Bunka. This is again Aogami, the blue number 2. It is very nice and thin. So this is going to be a bit more finesse in the blade. Really light. I like how they kind of flare here at the tang. That makes it very comfortable to hold. And it's actually, you can't really see, but this is a bit of a bevel coming in this way. Again, when you're pinching it right there, it's very comfortable knife to hold. Now, I also like the Hinokuni. Very nicely ground, nicely made knife. This is white carbon steel number 1. Number 1 has a higher carbon content, effectively making the steel harder. So we always like to say harder, sharper, hold its edge longer. And I find white carbon steel is the thing that is the easiest to sharpen, along with holding its edge a long time. Rust's a little bit easier, but frankly, it's not that big of a deal. And we'll be doing some demos on Monday about rusty knives and what to do with them, because it's like really nothing to stress about. The Hinokuni is a very smooth, like a very nicely beveled knife. It's got a nice strong kind of shoulder here and a nice gradual taper, but not super fine, so that would be a little bit more robust.
Mike, sorry, this is just in.
Cool. Then we also have the Yoshimune white number 2. This is my favorite. I really like the way that this knife is ground. It would be pretty beautiful to cut with, but you could also not worry too much about chipping it. I think it's pretty strong, but it's also beautiful. Of all of them, I like the finish of this one the most. It's got this really cool texture and that really nice Kurochi finish. They're all Kurochi finish. That just means black face.
I think if I were to get any carbon steel knife, it would probably be the Tomoshibis that we just got in, just because they're so pretty.
Ladies and gentlemen, this just in. The Sakai Kikumori VG2 serrated knife. If any of you folks have continued on your COVID baking, this would be a great little knife.
For sourdough buns.
For sourdough buns. Why not sourdough bread?
Buns
I
only.
make bigger loaves than that.
Oh, you got big loaves.
I like big loaves, I can't lie.
And you do like a crusty bun.
Yeah.
Great little knife. I love these Sakai Kikumori. We'll have a number of them around. This has got this heptagonal handle. I can't put my hand underneath it, Sky. I'm sorry.
You just got to put it on the same plane.
You get on the same plane.
If anybody's got more questions, we got about 15 more minutes, and then we are gone. So pop them in the chat.
All right. We had an older question here. How old is the Masashi Nishiji SLD in white 2 lines? Said they found them.
Probably somewhere else.
What's that?
I don't think we have any of those.
When did Masashi start making the Nishiji SLD?
Was it SLD or VS1?
It was VS1.
Did I get it wrong?
Well, how long has he been making knives on his own as Masashi?
Hey, Sky, can you look it up? I may have actually put the SLD instead of VS1.
Oh, no.
It's just like one of the prototypes that we had.
Yeah, because we had that little Kaijin prototype.
And,
wow, we still have some.
It has a VS1 on here. Website, I can't remember.
How old is it?
Did I-
It's no more than a year ago, and it's never been used by anybody.
Yeah.
Did I do it?
You did it.
You
Pablo,
did?
I hope
did
that's
it.
answered your
so
question, but
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
That was my fault.
it is a VS1
I'm
steel.
sorry.
Here is a super short one. David was asking if we'll be getting more Hasegawa cutting boards, and the answer is maybe.
Before Christmas.
Before
Not
Christmas.
before garage sale.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then the answer is yes. You heard it here first.
Before Christmas, not before Monday.
All right. Sakai Kikumori Tomoshibi.
Yes.
Yes. I don't know. Show it off. They exist.
Boom. Knife cam.
Knife cam. These
Yeah,
are
these are
so
great.
pretty.
These are really well priced. They're great quality knives.
Steel.
I believe these are white too.
White number 2.
It's really well made by the
Yeah.
those two young Tosa guys.
Really clean, classic look for a single bevel.
You can see the line around the back is really even all the way around.
So apparently what we could say, we can't really say who actually forged it, but what we could say is that this is forged by the guy who used to work for us.
One of our former employees.
Yeah. Well,
Probably one of the
I
ones
got
who's
the-
Japanese.
Yeah, that I got the permission.
Yeah.
Oh, so a former employee of ours sports that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Of all one former Knifewear employee that makes knives, it was that one.
Was it Jordan Fritz?
I mean, if you can plug your guitar into it, probably.
All right.
Okay.
We've just got a couple more here.
Great.
We've got one from Diane asking about the perfect petty. Stainless or more traditional carbon steel. Wanted to hear our ideas. And
Stainless steel.
Yeah, stainless for a petty, I would say. And she was also asking about left-handed knives we might have.
This guy's ambidextrous. Most of our knives are ambidextrous. This guy's stainless steel. It's nice and thin. I use my petty knife to like make breakfast and whip out together like lunch in the morning before work. And so I like this guy because I don't have to wash it before I put it away. I can just like leave it and wash it later if I need to. It's nice and thin. It's going to keep an edge really well because it's SG2 stainless steel, which is nice and hard stuff. So yeah, that guy's quite a beauty. Mike?
I like a taller petty knife because I like to be able to get my hand around it and hold the knife properly like I'm chopping something, right? And you can see when I'm going to cut with it, the edge is lower than my knuckles. So I'm not going to be chopping and pounding my knuckles on the counter. And I'm not going to be trying to cut, like when you cut with a paring knife that's too skinny, and you're trying to do this weird thing with your finger on the spine, your hand tires out. I really like this guy, R2 powder stainless steel with the nickel Damascus. So this is a beautiful knife, and it's not reactive. It's not going to rust. It's stainless steel, but it's super beautiful. It's also got a really nice, skinny, fine little tip. So if you're going to try and do those jobs like cleaning sinew off a pork tenderloin or something, you'd totally be able to do it with that. But also finely chopping something or slicing a tomato. Now, if you do think you want to go into the carbon steel realm, which is not that big of a deal in my mind, this Manaka is on my list. Same reasons. I've got that height at the heel so I can get my whole hand around the handle and hold it like a knife, not try and do some weird thing to cut with it. But I also just really like this person's knives, and I really, really like how they cut. So
awesome.
Those would be two suggestions I'd have.
All right,
and that's the Saji R2 nickel Damascus.
Perfect. We've got one from a Kevin Schmidt asking, what's a good knife to keep on your bike for emergency picnics?
Schmevin Schmidt. I'd like to know what would be good knife to keep on your bike for emergency picnics.
Yeah.
A folding Santoku.
Great. All right, moving right along. One from Timmy Treetop, looking for a tough petty with a bit of weight.
Tough petty with a bit of weight. Oh, hey, would you talk about a left-handed knife there, Nathan?
Yeah, so somebody was asking about left-handed knives. Most Japanese knives are ambidextrous. Basically what that means is they're sharpened on either side. They have a bevel on either side of the knife. Like this guy, for example. Notice how it looks the same on either side. This is ambidextrous. Specialty knives are called single bevels. Basically it means they're sharpened on one side, and then the back side is flat. And these are used for, this guy's used for butchering fish. Some of them are used for slicing sashimi. These aren't a knife that like everyday people necessarily use in their home, but these are really great if you are getting into like traditional Japanese cooking. And so this one's left-handed. Basically, when you look at the knife, the bevel is on the left side. If it's a right-handed knife, it would be on the other side of the knife. This guy's on sale as well. So it's 20% off next week. Normally, left-handed single bevel knives are more expensive because most blacksmiths are right-handed. So it's harder to make a left-handed knife, and it tends to be lesser quality. This guy's excellent quality, and it's 20% off. So I would get this one. This is not an amphibious knife, Don, because it's carbon steel, so it'll rust. But if you got a stainless steel left-handed knife, then it would be amphibious.
Beautiful. All right. We did Tough Petties.
Tough Petties.
We've got Tough Petties we didn't quite get to.
Yeah, this is from Kamo-san in Takafu Knife Village. He makes really great stuff. He's a lot lesser known than like the guys that work at Masakage, but this is an excellent 150 petty that's made from VG10. It's thick without being too heavy, so that would be an awesome choice. This guy is Aogami Super, which is super glue carbon. As far as carbon steel goes, this is slightly tougher, and it's got a stainless steel protective layer on the outside. It's stainless clad, and so that would be a pretty awesome choice as well. And then
we have a lot of selection on petties right now. There's some really good petty options here.
This guy's blue carbon steel, but it is a little thicker in the bevel there, so it's going to be a little bit tougher than like a super thin. Like I have a what's the name, Masashi Kokuen, and that guy's really delicate because it's so thin at the edge. This guy isn't nearly as delicate because it's just thicker. Like I feel like I could take apart a chicken with this, and as long as I didn't cut straight through a bone, it would be 100% fine.
The Camo VG10, this guy here with that sort of Pakawood handle, like it's a pretty thick knife. If you want something that you can kind of beat on a little bit, I would say that would be the one. I've got one of the Santokus, and you can treat it poorly and you'll get away with it.
Yeah.
Right? Ellie's had a 210 Gyuto of that for a long time, and she said that she beats the stuff out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But if you want something a bit finer, then the Sakai Kikumori would be my suggestion. If you still want to be able to do, just chop with it, right? But still do some nice fine work, that would be a better knife.
All right. We've got another one from Mr. Schment. Will Mike be doing bike tricks on the Monday live show?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
He's going to do a penny farthing backflip.
Mm-hmm.
Stay tuned for the backflip.
I'm going to do a penny farthing.
He's going to put the penny farthing up there and then jump off of the shelf.
I'm going to do a cab 1150.
Ooh, we've got a hot take in the comments. We were talking about tough petties. John says his Mabaroshi 120 is pretty tough.
Here's the thing, John. I feel like you are more similar to the people that work at Knifewear than the average home cook. Because I do things with my like Aogami Super, I do things with my Denka that I would never tell somebody to do. That I think most people would chip their knife doing that job. But if you know a little more about using a knife, it was a joke.
Carry on.
Well, if you know more about using a knife, then I think you are less likely to chip it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like I twist through avocado pits and cut little bones and stuff with my Denka, and it's fine. But I would never tell somebody to do that. Yeah.
I do all kinds of stuff with my knives that don't break them.
Yeah.
And
then you cut flowers with your tank.
And
how'd that go? Did you chip it? It's just a question.
I wish I could zoom in on Kevin's
I have
face.
a tank knife, a tinker tank, and I've chipped it recently.
Needless to say, now they're doing another restoration.
You sound like you're in a some sort of anonymous group.
I'm
my name's
confessing.
Kevin. I chipped my tank.
I'm confessing. I feel bad.
Yeah.
I
haven't chipped a
do
knife.
10 Hail Marys and you'll.
I haven't chipped a knife for 5 years.
Naoto's going back to Japan here right away, so I'm going to give him that knife and ask you to fix it.
Hey, good idea. Garage Sale Marathon Kickoff live stream Monday, November the 7th, 8 a.m. All of these dorks are going to be here talking about knives, answering your questions, generally trying to entertain you. There's even a schedule. You can see when things are happening. You can tune in on them.
You pop that up on screen.
John May, I'll debone a chicken thigh and drumstick for you all in one go.
Yeah.
Right.
Naoto's going to do some traditional Japanese knife skills.
Yeah, donabe.
Kevin's going to do some like more knife skills basics.
Yeah.
Am I really?
You're going to teach us how to buy a knife as a gift, how to choose
that.
that.
Yeah, I can do that.
Yeah.
Teach you how to cut an apple.
Yeah.
Teach you how to eat with chopsticks.
Hey,
What else I got to do?
we have knives that are rare. They're called rare knives. These guys.
Hey, I chipped one of those recently.
Yeah. So these guys are incredibly hard to find. And our waiting list was somewhere between 50 and 100 years long. So
because it was over 500.
we get like 10 of these a year.
10 a year.
So we said, screw that. And we're doing a raffle to give everybody a fair shot at them. Because, people really want these knives. And so basically, you can click the link in the description, sign up before Monday, before 8 a.m. Monday. And throughout the day on Monday, we're gonna draw the winners. So
do you think I could sell my broken one, my chipped one?
Yeah.
I mean, there were a lot of people in the comments today hoping that you would fall on some knives and break those so they could buy them. So, not like it's happened before, but they were theorizing.
What else are we doing? We're helping you decide on things that you're going to buy at the garage sale. Big caveat is we've tried to get everyone to see pick your knife now, pull the trigger first thing Monday morning. Get that knife in the cart, through the checkout, then go back and get your add-ons, get your other stuff, secure the things, that baby that you really want. Just get on and get it. So do some shopping over the weekend. And after that, come back. We'll talk more about the knife. You still have more questions.
And if you're in Calgary, Edmonton, Ottawa, or Vancouver, all of the stock that's in your store is exclusive to your store for the first day. So don't sweat it. I would go online early because if you want one of those like custom handle knives, that's the way to get it. But then head down to the store and see what other else kind of cool stuff they have. They open at 10. They got all sorts of exclusive stuff.
Yeah, you can be online at 8, and then you can be at the store at 10. Unless
They
you're
have-
in Ottawa, then you're going to be in the same place at the same time.
Right?
On your phone in the store.
Yeah.
They'll have some retired demo knives that might be discounted a little bit. That'll be exclusive.
I heard
Those
that
won't be online.
one of the stores has a retired Denka.
Oh,
Just saying.
there you go.
Cool.
Oh, this is a good question. Thomas was asking how fast the refurbished knives normally sell out.
First minute.
Yeah, literally first minute.
First
like
second.
have your credit card like on autofill.
Yeah.
That is how fast they
Make
go.
sure your address is entered correctly into autofill and your name and all that stuff, because you just want to add to cart, plop, plop, done.
For knives with the custom handles and knives like the refurbished ones, we've actually just got them at the shipping table right now because we know they're going to be sold in the first minute. So there's no sense in us actually dealing with them anymore. We've already put them.
If you
for Raffle.
add it to your cart, other people can add it to their cart and buy it. So if there's a knife, if there's one knife you really want,
Pay for it.
grab it right away. Shipping's free in Canada over $100, free to the US over $200. If you want something else, just go back for that. There's lots of knives that aren't going to sell out right away. But you can get free shipping on probably both of them, or we can combine the orders down the road. Shoot us an email.
Well, and if you're in the States, $200 is basically 400 Canadian. So I mean, the shipping's basically
now is the time to buy from Canadian businesses
everything
if
is
you're
on
American.
sale in Canada right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you're in the States.
Black Friday came early this year.
Yeah.
Also,
Thanks
we'll
to
just-
our economy.
We'll just go out there and say, just because of, we're just nice folks here, and so we will take American money at par right now for sure.
Oh, that's actually an excellent idea.
Yeah.
We take American money at par.
Just send cash app to Kevin
Everybody,
Kent.
thanks. Peace out. Thanks for coming and watching. And we'll see you all on Monday.
Yep.
There'll be knife tricks. There'll be bike tricks. There will be guest stars. We got a secret guest star coming.
Oh.
It's gonna be Mike in a wig. And yeah, we're just gonna basically on Monday we're gonna help you find the knife that you want.
Yeah.
Period.
That's our
Easy.
job.
Fantastic.
Easy peasy.
All right. Thanks for
And-
tuning in, and we'll see you at 8 a.m. Monday.